Hey guys, it's Jen with Glasses, and I'm streaming Gabriel Knight, The Beast Within. Yay! Now, normally on a Saturday night, I'd be streaming Covert Action, but I missed my Thursday Gabriel Knight stream because I was going to see the Riff Tracks rebroadcast, which was super fun. So I kind of thought, I really want to play some Gabriel Knight, so that's what we're doing tonight. So we'll play Covert Action again, don't worry about it. So while people are kind of coming in, a couple of things. I'm trying to remember where we're at with your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being a friend, Elliot. That's cool. I think my alerts turned on. Yeah, they're on. So, I totally lost my train of thought, which is fine. Oh, so with The Beast Within, Gabriel sent the letter off to, oh my gosh, to Gracie already. I can't remember her name, and I should, to Gracie, but we haven't been able to progress to the next chapter, so I'm probably missing to do something, and I'll hopefully figure that out soon. If not, I'll go look it up, because Gabriel, I'm not going to spend the next 3 hours trying to figure it out. In my actual life, I went to go see the Riff Tracks rebroadcast. They were doing the 5 Doctors, which is the Doctor Who, and it was amazing, so hilarious. They had this short from the BBC from the 70s about children playing safely, and it was awesome and horrific. It was all like, don't play with your kites near electrical lines, and like showed like a kid getting electrocuted and hitting the ground. There's like these cartoon birds, and the kids get electrocuted because they flew their kite into like an electric line, and the kid like fell down and was like, ugh. And then the bird's like, is he okay? And he's like, yes, he's fine. He just has 3rd-degree burns and is in the hospital. It was insane and crazy and hilarious. There's a scene where they're like, if your kite ever gets caught in the power lines, don't try and get it down yourself. Call the police. They'll know what to do. And the police said, and this is not something that the guys did. This was just in the actual video. You hear the police, you see him walk up to the kid and you hear him say, what a stupid place to play. Like, calls the kid stupid. Then there's another scene when they're like talking about how you can't go into where those big power stations are. Like, because the power can jump or whatever. This is the 70s. Hopefully it's safer now. This kid goes in to get a Frisbee, and like all you see is his legs catch on fire when the power jumps over, and the little bird's like, is he okay? And he's like, unfortunately no, he's dead. And they show those burning legs like 5 more times during the video. So apparently the BBC safety videos were a little more hardcore than the United States, where they're like, look both ways before you cross the street. I mean, they never showed us like a kid being dragged by a car down the street. So it was a fun time. The funniest thing that happened with it was, number one, when we first went in to sit down, it didn't work. Like, it kept blinking on and off, and we kept going to tell them. So they came in, they're like, hey, we're trying to fix it. It's a projector. You're going to have to wait till the theater opens up. And they said, you can either wait or you can get a free ticket for next time. Well, it was only like 30 more minutes to wait, so Russ and I are like, we're gonna totally wait. So we went to go tell them just in case other people weren't waiting, so they know like, you still have to show this even if it's just the 2 of us. And they gave us tickets anyway, even though we're saying we're staying. So we got free movie tickets for any movie, 3D or otherwise, at another time, and we still got to watch the 5 Doctors by Riff Tracks, and it was great. If you haven't gone seen a Riff Tracks thing, you should. They're not. Why would they pay me? There's no reason. But also because we got a ton of free goodies. Like, we got an email because we bought the tickets, and they like gave us free comic books and a bunch of other stuff related to the 5 Doctors. Anyway, really fun time. Definitely worth it to go. There weren't that many people because the first, like, Tuesday was when they did it live, and then Thursday was the rebroadcast, but we couldn't get tickets for Tuesday. So it was all fun. It was good. It was a good time. It was a good date. That's all I have to say. Go see Riff Tracks. It's fun. All right, so let's get in here to Gabriel Knight. How you doing, Elliot? Elliot says, lol. All right, let's see where we're at here. Hall of Death. Okay, so the bum bag of death. We've still got the cuckoo clock. Grossberg's phone number, which you tried to call before. Grace to Gabriel, letter number 2. Kristen Ritter's journal. Victor Ritter's journal. Lycanthrope's Lore and Law by Jennings. Gabriel's notepad, evidence analysis report, Klingman's receipt, Uber Grau's letter, Grace to Gabriel, letter number 1, car keys. Elliot says, I know that I enjoy seeing the MST3 crew doing riffs, but they're rarely out west here. So you don't have like a, you don't have a movie theater chain that'll host them, like do a simulcast? Because that's fun. I've never seen them live. I think that'd be fun too. But there's certain big chains that do. I mean, they advertised opera and stuff like before when it wasn't working and blinking out. It's true, you're a pal and a confidant. Why is the lyrics so small? For being a friend. Thank you for being a friend, Shrimpy Doodle. Anyway, they were also advertising like you can sit and watch a Broadway play, you can watch an opera, which is interesting. But I'm like, not that interesting. All right. We have our wallet. We have Gabriel's business card, the Klingman splice tape, the tape recorder, the barely started manuscript, and our Shotjäger. Elliot says, if not the theater, I do wonder if they stream it off their website. I haven't looked that far into it. I don't know if they do or don't. It's definitely a fun time. I wish there was, when we had to wait, there was another couple waiting. And I had started a conversation with the lady before. But then later I was like, we should have like invited them to sit with us while we're waiting. It's like one of those like social things where I'm like, we could have made friends. And I was like, okay, bye. Friendship opportunity missed. Because you know they're semi-cool if they're there for that. Alright. Alright, so let me check. Let's check. These books they wouldn't let me read before. They wouldn't let Gabriel read. But they should let.
I don't have time to worry about this historical stuff at the moment.
Okay, grumpy. Alright, so what's preventing us from going to the next chapter? Other than this guy. Who's this Yahoo?
Germans. Always in a hurry.
Alright, so we were able... I'm sorry, I'm just trying to reorient myself and remember what we did last time. Have we gone to the... gone here since we've been in there? Remember we used the cuckoo clock to like totally mess over the dude.
I don't think she speaks much
KJP
English.
agent.
Besides, she...
KJP! It's only funny if you watch the Gold Wars. Because their game's called the JTP. Alright, is there anything we can talk to him about we haven't... Oh, missing persons! Okay, cool. Hey, Jake! More Weisswurst. Weisswurst, yes. We can talk to him about something. Here we go.
You mentioned the possibility of my using your secretary for research?
Anytime.
Great. I wouldn't ask, but I need a newspaper search done, and my German sucks.
No problem. What exactly
I want
are
to
you
use your
looking for?
secretary
Missing
for
persons.
research. Just
Actually,
doesn't sound good.
Missing persons cases that occurred in or near forested areas.
How far back do you want to go?
10 years?
Mm-hmm. Okay, I can spare her later in the day. We should have it ready for you by tomorrow.
A rare humble declaration
Great.
from Gabriel, exactly.
Thanks.
I mean, he kind of admits he doesn't speak German, but he's such a jerk about it. Like, he's like, I don't speak German, as if, like, they should all speak English, and he's irritated, so that was a little bit better of a way to approach it. Like, I just don't know that much German.
I'm off. See you, Harry.
Is that all we had to do to, like, go to the next... So you could spare her later today. Let's see what happens if we go back to the farm. And then if we can go to sleep. Because I want to play... I miss Grace. Like, I miss her anger and feistiness. I mean, Gabriel's got the good hair. But, you know. How you doing tonight, Jake, also? Go to bed. 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You know you're tired. Wait, we can't? Come on. We already read this. We should pick up the newspaper and take it with us. We can't. Killer Wolf schlagen in die Innenstadt Wiedersehen.
It looks like there's been another wolf killing.
240 out of 679. Alright, so we said if we could ask about the missing persons. Okay. I really want to explore castles with Grace.
Who should I call?
Ghostbusters? You should call Ghostbusters. I think the Ghostbusters would be good. The Ghostbusters would be good. Alright, so... call this number again.
I don't think there's much more to be gained from Grossberg's assistant.
Oh, they don't stream it live, but they do sell the recording on their site after. I really enjoyed The Five Doctors. It was very hilarious by Riff Tracks. The Five Doctors is a little bit of a weird movie anyway, but it's even funnier when you have that. Alright, so we don't have... oh, the ticking clock. Jeez. Okay, so we did ask him about missing persons, and he said he could spare his secretary later. Does that mean we have to do something else before we can get the information from the secretary? Yeah, I want to skip this scene. So let's see if they'll let us go to the zoo. Take her to the zoo. It says, the Five Doctors. Only a matter of time before they riff the American Doctor Who TV film.
Klingman's office is locked.
So Klingman's office is locked. This is not... there's nothing new over here, right? Nope. The Wolves. I'm hoping we have a confrontation with Klingman again. Can we go back to the police station? See if we can ask him anything new. Hey, Lazy Panda! Okay, is there anything new we can ask
I don't have any more questions for the commissar.
Okay, well, then let's get out of here. Awkward.
I'm gonna take off.
Stay out of the bubble.
Thank you for being a friend. And you're being a friend, Belle. Hey! How goes the journey? Well, we just figured out one of the things I hadn't done yet was talk to the lawyer about missing persons. So we asked our lawyer if we could borrow his secretary for research for Son Terrible, and she's gonna look up missing persons from the last 10 years. But he said that wouldn't happen until later today. So that leaves me to believe that we need to go talk to somebody else. I mean, the game is kind of making it sound inevitable that they're gonna try and turn Gabriel into werewolf, just the way like this werewolf cult is, and how like charged every single... I know, that's what he said. He's like, can I borrow your secretary for research? And I was like, what? And then he's like, for what? And he's like, oh, for like, I can't, my German sucks, and I need to check for missing people near the woods during the last 10 years. I know, doesn't it? Well, everything Gabriel says everything in such a way that it sounds like that. It's kind of like a walking pickup line generator, basically. You can't help it. I guess it's just the way he's made.
They're busy. I'd give it a shot, but I don't speak the language.
This guy is not busy. Look at him, the red turtleneck, walking innuendo machine, exactly. This guy in the red turtleneck's not busy. Also, he's tiny. These are not the right...
I'd give it a shot, but I don't speak the...
This is huge. Okay. Oh, October 25th is their annual Night of the Living Dead riff. Oh, that sounds like fun. I think I remember them announcing it. It's like one of their largest selling riffs, I guess.
I'd give it a shot, but I don't speak...
Okay, we don't know who this person is.
I'd give it a shot, but I don't speak the...
Okay, let's go into the hunting lodge. Now that we've talked to the lawyer about missing people, maybe we can go into the hunting lodge and we've irritated this guy enough, man. New scene.
Good night.
Don't drink his blood. This guy's gonna give you blood to drink. Don't drink it. That's how they make you a werewolf. This music is so loud. Sorry, guys.
You look a little wet.
I Oh, I was visiting a friend
It's a
nearby.
Dracula!
I thought that I should take a shower before they arrived. I was a bit automatic.
It's a bit aromatic. What? I don't get what he's hinting at. It's like, I stink. Why? He's implying he just got back from turning into a werewolf. Loving the Jägermeister tab. Yeah.
Well, how thoughtful.
Yeah, Gabriel, for once Gabriel's realizing for once in his life, Gabriel is realizing the vibes are weird. Normally, it totally flies over his head when the vibes are really weird, but he's finally like, oh yeah, this feels a little weird. It's like, yes, it does. This is a weird situation. This feels weird. There's like a weird energy in the room. Okay, is there anything over here I can
And
look
I
at?
thought Germans only drank beer. And I thought Germans
Well, there's
only drank...
Jägermeister. They drink blood wine, apparently. We learned from the book they turn you into a werewolf by making you drink blood.
Fair price?
Gosh, this guy's like, his vibe is not good.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my gosh, this is the world's most awkward conversation. I don't want to ask him anything about himself. I don't really want to know.
Baron von Glau mentioned that you're a lawyer.
Yes. And fortunately for me these days, I have enough money to where I only have to take those cases which interest me. I enjoy my leisure time.
And what do you do with your leisure time?
This is looking so awkward, guys.
I entertain.
He sounds like a serial killer. I entertain by disemboweling people. I entertain myself. Elliot says, blood wine. I think we made a wrong turn in Starfleet Academy. It's true. It's just, he's like, I love to entertain by playing with people's entrails and making brain soup. It's so interesting.
Probably a dumb question, but what sort of entertaining do you do?
Oh, gosh.
Do you like women, Herr Knight?
Yes.
I've been known to.
I adore them. Do not call it an obsession. The stalk, the dance, the bait, the hook.
And what do you do once you've hooked him?
Oh my gosh, Gabriel.
Oh, you know. You're quite the pleasurist yourself. Or have I misled you?
Guys. Oh,
You're probably just getting a whiff of the past, Herr Price.
really? I think you're currently trying to find women, but this guy sounds like a serial killer who targets women. He doesn't sound like Gabriel sounds like he likes women. This guy sounds like he's like, yes, I love to tie them in my basement, and then when they're dead, I put their heads in my freezer. That's what it sounds like is going on. I did not like this at all.
What do you think of the club philosophy?
It works, doesn't it?
Does it?
We're all animals, but I deny it.
So you don't believe in suppressing anything?
Why would I want to suppress my urges? If your body
I don't
wants
want to talk
something,
with this
it
guy
must
about
be natural.
urges.
What if you get the natural urge to...
No, I don't want to. Thank you for being a friend.
Well, what about those whose instincts are fatal? Shouldn't they suppress?
I believe that nature handles that scenario when it occurs here at night.
And how does it do that exactly?
In the wild, when a member of society does not conform,
I'll fix it,
he is
Jake.
hunted
Hang on
down
one
and
second.
executed. End of mutant instinct
Thanks for the host, Papaya.
and its genetic bloodline.
Okay, hang on. Yeah, it is slightly off. Hang on, let me Where are you at? There we go. There we go. Now you can see the score. Oh, this conversation, just so gross. Jake says, I remember this freeze frame of the two from a Gabriel Knight retrospective and Game Informer from 2005. I remember. Perfect. Thank you. All right. Oh gosh, I don't want to talk to this guy anymore. He's like he gives off a real serial killer, serial rapist vibe, and I'm not enjoying this. I do not like this guy. That's okay, Papaya. I'm sure he's just giving clues that he's a werewolf. This guy is so...
Tell me about the other club members.
Oh, they're all right. Don't worry about Von Zell. He's a bastard to everyone these days.
PMS?
I don't know
Gabriel, why are you
is.
making a PMS joke?
Oh, he's always been an arrogant bastard, competitive on the hunts, ambitious. But still, aren't we all? He was decent enough at one time. In fact, he was one Glora's favorite. And he was an asset as a friend. But things change.
Oh. Elliot says, luckily he was saying that his heart was true, that he was a pal and a confidant. 90s PMS joke. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right. So he used to be good. Now he's not good. We'll figure out.
And what about the other club members?
Like who?
Henneman, for example. I've heard he's in line for a position extremely high up in the government.
Henneman, he is a drunk.
Oh.
His days as a political superstar are over. My friends at the courthouse tell me that he has been marked for early retirement.
Okay, so he's out of the picture.
One less politician to worry about, huh?
So what I can't figure out yet is whether this, like, I don't know, what is it, a pack of werewolves, I guess? Or whether they're all evil, or only some of them are evil, or there's like one rogue werewolf, or they're all evil. I don't know.
When did Von Zell begin to change?
Oh, he's been getting worse for a long time. I remember a hunting trip about a year ago. That was the last time I remember that we were all together and having a good time. He must have started getting difficult after that.
Silence. Awkward silence. Yes, let's ask more of Von Zell. Let's zero in on this guy.
Seems like you've pretty much written Von Zell off yourself. Any particular reason?
Look, it's one thing when he insults the rest of us. But when he insults the Baron, no. I heard him arguing once. When Glover told Von Zell he acted stupidly about something or the other. Von Zell was furious.
What'd he say?
He told the Baron that he was weak.
Uh-oh.
Bastard.
Leadership
I don't know
change
why
in the werewolf
the Baron
club.
didn't get away with it. I mean, I would have said something at the time, but, well, it was a private conversation.
Uh-huh. When was this?
Oh, I don't know. 5, 6 weeks ago?
So Von Zell might be trying to kill off the alpha wolf in order to take over the pack, in order to kill more people.
How was Von Zell an asset as a friend?
He is a banker.
Are you saying he loaned you money?
He's always willing to help out his good friends.
Why would anyone in this club need money? I thought y'all were models of success.
Yes, well, fortunately, I took less advantage of Von Zell's hospitality than some.
Lacey Panda said, wouldn't it be funny if this creepy guy wasn't actually the bad guy? Yeah, really. He's less creepy now. Once they stop talking about women, they're fine. It's just when they talk about women, I'm like, I don't like the vibe.
Have you ever heard of the Black Wolf?
Yes.
Really?
Really, where?
Oh, I don't know. Just sounds familiar.
Will you tell me if you remember?
Of course.
He's like, I think he actually does remember, but he's just lying. He's a much better liar than Gabriel Knight is.
The reinforcements have arrived.
Uh-oh.
Now you'll have someone new to probe, Herr Knight.
My brilliant man, good cheer to you both. Where's the beer?
Guten Abend, mein Herr. Good evening.
They're getting drunk.
Guten Abend.
There's the doctor. Oh, look at them. They're like, look at us. Right behind the bar. So that's Zell, right? I hope I have it. Super grumpy.
Meine kleine Familie. How are you all this evening? Hello. Gabriel, I'm glad you could join us.
Take off that trench
I
coat.
need to speak with Baron. Enjoy your evening, Herr Knight.
Thanks. I will.
The Baron's suit looks like something a cartoon wolf would wear.
May I speak to you for a minute?
What is it, Bryce?
He's asking about the fight. Gabriel Knight's dangerous. I need you to walk around arrogantly, awkwardly, and toss your hair. Okay. Okay, well. Interesting. We can talk to whoever we want. Let's talk to these guys.
Ich habe meinen Nachmittagstermin abgesagt. Wir treffen uns hier um 4 Uhr.
Ja, so viel ich weiß. Ja. Ja, so, good evening, Herr Knight.
Henneman, Von Agner?
You care to join us?
Sure. Thanks.
Oh, geez, guys. A lot of talking. I haven't had the chance.
I've spoken to several of the club members today, but I haven't had a chance to speak with you yet, Herr Von Agner.
Jake says the whole game should be just hanging out in this place and bumping in here.
Better than I do.
Oh, true, very true.
Perhaps tomorrow?
I'd be delighted.
Okay.
I haven't had a chance to get to know you yet, Herr Henneman.
Well, I'm already beyond serious conversation tonight, I'm afraid.
He came to the
Tomorrow's
club
fine.
drunk. He was already drunk before he got here. He's like, oh, I get drunk before I get here, and then I get drunk after I get here.
Have you guys heard about the mutilation killing last night? Happened right around the corner.
Awful, simply awful.
I'd meant to get a newspaper, but the time got away from me. Do you have any details?
Pre-drunk drunk, exactly.
The victim was a man named Grossberg. He ran a furrier business in town.
Horrible. You know, this zoo wolf
Oh, that guy's
business is
known him.
inexcusable. The mayor has been spoken to, and quite seriously. Even the prime minister is concerned.
Did you know Grossberg, Herr Von Agner?
Me? Grossberg?
No,
Why
I'm
no?
acting
no.
like I do.
Why do you ask?
I just thought you're both in the animal processing business.
Munich is a big city, Herr Knight.
So it is.
Too bad he knows him.
Well, I was just curious.
You guys have a perfect poker face. Not at all. Hyman is too drunk to appear guilty.
So what were we all talking
He's
about?
too
when I came
relaxed to
up?
feel guilty about anything.
Tomorrow's little excursion. Will you be joining us?
Our monthly hunting trip.
A hunting trip?
Tomorrow.
Really? Where?
Our lodge is at Eppenberg. It's in the Bavarian National Forest. We leave tomorrow afternoon.
Well, gosh, you know, that sounds great, but I need to have my gun cleaned and...
Oh, there are plenty of guns at the lodge.
Yeah, Von Eigner, perhaps the Baron did not mean for Herr Knight to join us quite so soon.
Oh, hell, why not then? Baron,
Oh no.
Von Agner?
our hunting trip tomorrow. Will our new American friend be going with us?
Herr Knight? Well, I don't see why he could...
Of course not. He's not a club member. He's probably not even registered with the license office.
Nonsense, Gar. The sooner we
Jeez.
get to see his technique, the better. We'll just slip him in, and he can register properly when we get back.
But that's not
Poor
legal.
Lord Joyce.
When do you care about legalities? It's only a hunting license.
I agree. I would enjoy Gabriel's presence very much.
You can only be put to
Well,
death for hunting without a
enough
license.
said.
It's fine.
The Baron should certainly get whatever he wants, shouldn't he? Perhaps it will be an interesting exercise at that.
Jeez Louise, dude. I don't want to make a PMS joke, but that guy is PMS-y. Alright, so we talked to them. Let's talk to these guys. Hey, DS6, how you doing?
Hey.
How you been?
Can I join you in a moment, Gabriel? Price and I are almost finished.
Talking about my gold ascot, isn't it amazing? It's gold silk. It's definitely a choice. Those shoulder pads. Okay, what about these guys? They hate me. So let's talk to them.
Yes, Herr Knight?
Oh, good. How's it going? That always goes well, right?
How's it going?
Fine. Would you excuse us, please? We are discussing something private.
Oh. Sure.
Papaya Kuma says, the Baron's fashion sense is... Mwah. PWS, pre-werewolf syndrome. Maybe. We didn't even get to ask him anything. They're gonna yell at us. We have dialogue trees, we have to use them.
Yes, Herr Knight?
What are y'all talking about? Just a down... What's new? Just want to grab a magazine.
What are you two kids talking about?
We could share it with you, Mr. Knight. But then we'd have to kill you.
Baron von Zell?
I'm just kidding, Doctor. I'm afraid our discussion is private, Mr. Knight. Run along now.
Run along, little boy.
Can't
Go
wait.
eat your strudel. Strudel. I said that wrong. I stepped over my own joke.
The Americana?
Oh, goodness. Well, we are very nosy.
Just the right size for the big bad wolf to come down the...
I'm just gonna grab a magazine. That's what you should say.
Yes, Herr?
Just wanted to grab a magazine.
Just wanted to grab a magazine.
Then grab one.
Thanks.
Ich bin sicher, es ist kein Reiter.
Did we actually get to pick up... Do we have the magazine in our possession? On Sid Nightrog.
I can't read it. It's in German.
This looks very grim. It's about maybe kids being killed? I don't know. But it's very grim. This was not here before we looked at the magazines. Alright, one last...
It is a hoot to pester them, but I'm kind of running out of reasons. Maybe I should wait until I have something meaningful to say.
Okay, well, what about this? Oh! Let's put the tape recorder in the magazine! Tape recorder in the magazine. Put it in the magazine.
That's a thought.
And then put it on the table. Hey, Pup Chase. All I heard is werewolves. Where are the sexy werewolves? Well, if these guys are werewolves, then there's a couple sexualized ones here.
Just wanted to put this magazine back.
Yes.
It wasn't very good.
All he's gonna record.
I wouldn't recommend it.
All it's gonna record is them talking about how annoying Gabriel is. What is wrong with this guy? I love that look. So inconspicuous. Exactly. DS6 Gabriel can break some ice in this party by starting the dancing early.
Gentlemen, excuse me, please.
You can play Monster Mash. Put that on. I'm sure that'll break the ice. Werewolves. I want werewolves. Werewolves. Hopefully soon. Look, I got you a beer stein full of beer.
To you sooner. Have you been enjoying yourself?
Oh,
No,
it's
not
been
at
loads of
all.
fun.
Good. I'm glad you're going with us tomorrow. We don't get started until the afternoon, so won't have to worry about staying up late tonight.
I have to warn you, my hunting's kind of rusty.
I'm sure you'll do just fine.
Oh, he's mad.
I demand to know what you're doing at this club.
Oh, it was good, yeah.
Rogue
Rogue One's good.
Really?
Are you aware that this guest of yours has been asking intimate questions?
Intimate
Poking around in
questions.
our personal affairs? He must be a reporter. Or the police.
What do we have to fear from a reporter or the police? Although I can promise you, her knight is neither.
You don't care that he's prying into our private business?
Private
What possible
business.
motive could he have?
Please. He's my guest. You're the one who's turning that into an inquisition.
Then it is
Star
on your
Trek?
head.
That was good. The latest Star Trek movie was good.
I apologize for that.
You keep defending me.
It's okay, Bob Chase.
I'm not exactly helping the harmony around here.
No, you're
Believe me,
not.
the harmony was shattered a long time before you came. Once
Harmony is shattered.
Territorial.
Oh no.
I'm tired of it, frankly.
Well, I should go anyway. I wanted to clean up before tonight.
All right.
I mean,
Good night,
tomorrow?
everyone.
Oh, good enough
Night.
Clean up before tonight.
soon. See you then.
He means tomorrow. Clean up before tomorrow. Weird. You chased my boyfriend away. I'm angry with you. Kind of a weird group. It's like all these older middle-aged guys and these two young hotshots. Oh, here we are at the Huber farm. We didn't pick up the... Hey, we didn't pick up the, It's a dead rabbit. And we didn't pick up the tape recorder. Were we supposed to do that? It's a Schwarzenegger. Became a spoiler for us. Chapter 3 ending movie. So we left the rabbit. Okay, why were we not concerned about that? Also, did we get the tape recorder back? Crap. I gotta check my inventory. What if we didn't get the tape recorder back? Someone's gonna find it. I'm gonna save it and then I'm gonna go to the previous save and see if I can get it back. Oh, here's Grace. She tried to warn us. We just didn't listen. We should have warned Gabriel. Read this stuff, it's important. Nah, I don't got time. Oh, she's being chased by werewolves in a white dress. Run, Grace, run! Why are her arms flailing around so much? Does she not know how to run? Woo! Grace, stop! The music's for dun it! Blue filter day for night, exactly. Why is her hair so long? Her hair has to be long in this scene? Oh no, there's a, oh, it looks like a sled? Save me, Gabriel, save me! pulled into what? Okay, that's repeating 3 or 4 times. Wait, who's that? Who? Wait, that's not Gabriel or the other guy. Clip art sleigh just slid in there. Yep. It sort of looks like Cinder. Hey, Mr. Cantot. I'm doing good. How are you? Beware of trusting strangers, Grace. Exactly. All right, I need to save it here. Actually, I don't know. I mean, this may not be. Papaya, is it cheating for you to tell me if I have to go back and get that tape recorder? I'm slightly concerned that I have to go back and get it, but if I don't need to. Hey, Cheddarman. Well, because I missed Thursday because I went to go see Riff Tracks, which was amazing. Okay, good. Then I don't have to worry about it. Yeah, it was. They also showed this. It was the 5 Doctors, which was amazing to make fun of, and also they showed this BBC short on little kids being safe, and it was hilarious and horrifying. They showed a kid getting electrocuted like 5 times, not a reenactment, but it was still terrifying. And at one point they said, if your kite gets caught in the power lines, don't try and get it yourself. Call the police. And that was just the movie, not the guy saying anything. The policeman gets there and he goes, what a stupid place to play. Like, he's like calls the kid an idiot. The police. I did enjoy it. Somber lounge lizard music. Yep. Can we look over here again? I think we already looked in here, but you know. Anything new in this?
That hole is a trigger for the secret passageway.
Oh, thank you for reminding me. Ooh.
I don't think I need that. I don't think I need that.
You need all of this.
I don't think I need that.
You need all of this.
I don't think I need that.
You need all of this.
I don't think I need that.
Fine. Why we're staying in Gabriel Knight's bedroom when there's clearly 1,000 rooms in this place, I do not know. Okay, let's go this way. Look at this, like, they put a lot of Vaseline on this lens to give it this, like, soap opera soft look. It's like, ooh, she's not here.
I wonder what Gerda's up to.
Good, I want to look through your papers.
I wonder what Gerda's up to.
I don't know, but
I don't have time to sit around. Too much to do.
Well, look through her papers.
I wonder what Gerda's up to.
Well, I guess you'll just have to ask her. Are we supposed to go look in the secret passage? That seems unfair. Okay, let's check the secret passageway. Gerda should be upset that we looked through all her stuff. We're going to Narnia, everybody! Okay.
I don't want to go back into Gerda's bedroom. She might catch me in there.
It's true. I don't know why we're going in here then. I thought we just friendly, like, burst into her room. Okay, why is she stopping that weird way? Yeah, it's just...
How convenient. When the Lord of the Manor is slipping through the passageway to his amorous adventures...
Okay, well, let's get out of here. There doesn't seem to be anything we can get right now. Let's go out the front door and go talk to the village. We have a letter from Gabriel Knight that we need to pick up. So let's get on with that. He's telling us to go look at all the castles. Yay! I'm excited about that. Grab your trench coat. Everyone must have a trench coat before leaving the house. Okay.
Gerda's being a real pig about those car keys.
Oh gosh. Let's go into town and see what we can do. Alright, where can we go? Where can we go now? Alright, well, let's go. Let's check out the post office. There's something for us.
There's no one there.
To press the button. Hello.
Guten Tag. Grüß Gott, Frau Nakamura. Ich habe etwas für Sie.
Oh. It's a letter from Gabriel.
Oh, it's from Gabriel. Ja, das
He
ist vom
loves
Schattenjäger.
us.
Ja.
No, I think you... Gabriel is a working partner and...
Yeah, she gave that away. Now we know she's in love with him.
Never mind.
At first I thought maybe she's just jealous of the fact he was getting all this attention and that she did just as much work on that book as he did practically.
Danke.
Bitte.
But now she tipped her hand. Nod, nod, nod. Exactly. When she's like, oh, it's from Gabriel. Well, then you just tipped your hand there. Now we know.
Gracie, you decided to come over. That's great. Guten Tag and all that. I'm sure you
Flat
and Gary are
tone.
hitting it off. Thanks for finding the Werewolf book. I'm not sure what it all means, but it might be useful. But Ludwig II, you know, I think you might have something there. Ubergrau says there are 2 places you should check out. Ludwig had a castle called New Swan something, and there's a museum about him here in chemistry. Something
Here in
like
chemistry?
that. I really think you should spend some time looking into it. Don't worry. Things are going very smoothly this time around.
They've already turned me into
I've
a
tracked a
werewolf, so
suspect
life's
to a hunt
good.
club run by a man named Von Glauer. He seems okay, but I'm sure there's something going on with at least one of the others. Don't worry, though. I met a police detective named Leva, so I have backup.
Yeah, right.
I'll be finished soon. Sit tight and enjoy your visit till I get there. Gabriel.
What does...
Oops.
Don't worry.
I
Things are
gotta hear...
going very
I
smoothly
didn't realize
this
she was
time
gonna have something
around.
to say.
I've
until,
tracked a suspect to a hunt club run by a man named Von Glauer. He seems okay, but I'm sure
He
there's
seems
something
okay.
going on with at least one of the others.
His
Don't
hair
worry,
tries,
though.
but it's not as good as
I
mine.
met a police detective named Leva, so I have backup. I'll be finished soon. Sit tight and enjoy your visit till I get there. Gabriel.
What does he think? I'm on vacation here? No address. Thank you very much, Mr. Knight.
We'll just send it to his lawyer again. Yes, Mr. Kentot, this is my first playthrough. What do you think of part 1? I really enjoyed it. Like, are you talking about the first game? Or are you talking about the first couple chapters? I enjoyed the first game a lot. I really did. It was fun. Alright, so now we're grumpy about everything. I don't know why. Let's ask them if they know anything. Oh, I liked the first game a lot. Oh, look, it's the couple that had the weird thing with the beehive thing. Let's save it. I mean, you can't beat Tim Curry doing Mark Hamill and Tim Curry doing New Orleans accents. It was fun. I don't know. I heard the third game's 3D and horrible. That makes me feel nervous.
Hello there, dear.
Hi, I'm Grace Nakamura from the castle. Am I interrupting?
Heavens, no.
They remember you. They
Have a
met you
seat,
last
Miss
night.
Nakamura.
Well, I might. For a moment.
Isn't this nice? We just finished our breakfast. Do you want something?
Nice.
No, thanks.
Good for you. I can never turn down food myself. Now you just tell us all about it, Sugar Pie.
Her hair is terrifying. You said third game is pretty good. It just really has a weird control scheme. You know, someone mentioned this in the stream. I think is kind of just kidding, but I would love a new FMV game with this actress and the actor for Gabriel Knight. Like, whatever, 15 years later, how old the game is. Like, that would be really cool. All right, let's ask with themselves. The game is not terrible. Okay. The 3D doesn't make your eyes pop out of your head. That's good.
You mentioned the other night that you were a demonologist. What is that exactly?
Well, it's not as bad as it sounds, honey. What Emma and I really do is to help protect people.
Protect them from what?
Well, do you believe in the devil, Miss Nakamura?
I believe in good and evil, if that helps.
Oh, but Satan and his demons are real, and they will attack the living. And most folks don't know what to do once they've been attacked. We try to help protect people.
How can you protect people from demons?
The best protection is faith in God, of course. But sometimes faith isn't enough. Sometimes we have to delve into the supernatural in order to protect others. Your Schottenjoggers are just the same.
We are? I mean, he is?
Of course. course. The warriors of light are rare these days, but they do exist all around the globe.
That's interesting. I just read about a group called Manos del Sol in Brazil. So the Ritters aren't the only Schattenjägers.
Well, they're probably the only ones to use that title, but others have been chosen for the battle.
So this is over. I want to... Hey, everybody! You said when you... Hey, Servo! When you played it, Papaya, it had a recurring glitch that completely destroyed the character's pathfinding and collision. Oh, no. The beehive wig is awful. So far, they haven't been terribly insensitive, but maybe I'm not picking up on all of it. Yeah, this is really like... It doesn't even look like a beehive. It kind of looks like they just took all of her hair, and I don't know what they did with it. Sorry, I'm trying not to yawn. I'm not bored by the game. We're just tired. I've had a busy weekend. All right, let's ask about Ludwig II.
Do you know anything about King Ludwig II?
Sure, we saw his castles, didn't we, Mother?
We sure did. Why do you ask?
Well, I found a letter in the Schattenjäger library warning Ludwig about the Black Wolf.
Who wrote the letter?
One of Gabriel's ancestors, a Schattenjäger.
Seems like whoever was using me as a megaphone helped you find that letter. Perhaps you should follow the path something's pointing at. Look into Ludwig.
I intend to.
Okay. Now that this weird lady has said look into Ludwig, Gabriel says, hey, look into Ludwig, and she's like, meh. This weird beehive lady she's met one time. Yeah, sure, she said it. No, not a good
The
plan.
other night you said something about the Black Wolf. What did you mean? Where did you hear that name?
I wasn't the one talking.
I don't understand.
Well, that's quite all right. The point is, it would be a very good idea to answer those questions, and we must work together to do so.
We're working together.
Of course I'll help you, Pumpkin. I'd like to know myself, wouldn't I? It isn't every day one's taken over by a disembodied spirit, and I don't much care for it, thank you.
You're not talking about a seance, are you?
Oh, heavens, no.
Thank God.
Emma's right. I'm much better at tarot cards. I can read for you or for someone else if you prefer.
I'm much better at tarot cards. So for your it's time for your caffeine high or meth that will keep you going. Well, if I drink caffeine now, I'm not going to sleep, and I need to sleep. And
Are you sure you don't know anything about the Black Wolf?
I never did, dear. I told you. Really, you mustn't confuse the vessel with the voice. All I remember was seeing a very bright flash like lightning. Next thing I knew, Emma had me outside. Whatever it was very powerful. Very powerful.
Okay.
Well, I guess it wouldn't hurt to do my tarot reading.
Don't you worry now. I know what I'm doing.
All right.
Push your vital energies into the cards.
What are your vital energies? It's very unclear.
This is your soul card. That which applies to all of your lifetimes. It's the Empress. Oh, that's a good one.
What's it mean?
It means that your soul's journey is one of leadership.
You love hilarious and
There's
accurate
great
tarot
strength
readings
here
and games.
and intelligence. This card
there many
represents
games
what
to
you're
do
like
that?
in this lifetime. It's the Chariot. Self-discipline. Control. You need to feel you have a plan, that you're testing your abilities. The Chariot's very masculine. In combination with the Empress,
That's the lovers,
it tells
not the
me that
chariots.
you're currently exploring your male side. You will seek out great achievement, but it does have its price.
Not
Doesn't
tarot
sound
cards, but
anything
instead
like
of
me.
department store
Yes,
credit
dear.
cards.
The third card represents the other. You've pulled the
His
Magician.
real name is Wolf? That's
Who is he,
crazy.
dear?
Excuse me?
Your other, the Magician. Oh, this is a very powerful card. Major Arcana.
My other?
Everyone has an other. Let's see. I bet it's the Schattenjäger. What's his name?
The Schattenjäger? Gabriel Knight.
A name of power. He is powerful, this one. The magician
Billy
is
knows nothing.
dexterous and cunning, mischievous and manipulate.
That's Gabriel, all right.
And very strong with magical and occult powers. Now this is interesting because your card, the Chariot, is all logic and reasoning, while his, the Magician, is spiritual and intuitive. You two are quite a pair.
You need to go on home. You'd hoofed it over the hunt club by now.
Shows what you're trying to achieve at this moment. Your immediate destiny.
What's our immediate destiny?
It's the Strength or Lust card.
Lust?
Not that kind of lust, dear. It's a trial card. Finding the strength to continue some difficult journey.
Death, not strength.
It also represents the integration of conflicting energies.
Basically, she's just
that
saying
must be your chariot
what she
and
knows
his
about Grace
magician
already.
energies. Strength also means bonding those energies, loving without judgment, learning to love the beast. What is this trial, dear? Do you know?
We're not a bust card?
Well, Gabriel and I are involved with a case right now.
It will be a hard time. You must let your love give you power. Use the positive energy of your union or you may not succeed.
I think you have the wrong idea. Gabriel and I just work together.
Yes.
I'm just in love with Gabriel.
But if
Sorry.
I might just suggest, when you're facing negative forces, the positive energy of love is a very vital weapon.
She doesn't know what the cards are.
You
Is what
make
you're
yourself
saying.
vulnerable when you resist your own tools.
She was on Twin Peaks as a nurse? That's why she seems familiar to me, Elliot.
I hope so, dear.
Maybe we should do a reading for Gabriel.
Oh, let's! It's a little like spying on someone unawares, but what the heck?
I have no scruples. It's fine.
Reach out to the cards.
Where are you,
and
Belle?
think about his essence. His soul card is the Magician. Yes, dear. It reflects your other exactly.
Well, maybe, but I'd rather hold out for David Copperfield.
They hope no one would notice.
And his lifetime card.
Maybe they were thinking that
goodness.
the video would be too blurry to tell
lovers.
what they were really.
You mean the sole purpose of his life is in his pants? Doesn't surprise me.
It's not what you
Grace,
think, dear.
chill out, man.
It's a duality card. As a lifetime card, it refers to Gabriel's own duality.
Thank you for the
Good versus evil,
follow,
physical pleasure
Jan123.
versus spiritual growth, that kind of thing. His challenge is to integrate the conflicting
glad you're having
parts of
fun.
himself. Until he does, he'll never find peace.
He'll never find peace until he finds the other half of himself.
And you will find peace when you acknowledge all of him. Find a way to love the worst as you already love the best.
You're really reaching.
Mother.
Matchmaker,
other
matchmaker, make me
Is the High
match.
Priestess.
Let me guess. That's me, right?
No, dear, it's not. The High
Thanks for the
Priestess
follow, twin number
represents
23.
psychic mysteries, deep wisdom. This is a very different energy from your earthy one. This must be our connection. To the voice, dear! Someone is trying to communicate with Gabriel. This
Oh, boy.
force is represented by the High Priestess.
That's not much help. What about the Black Wolf?
But it is a help, dear. The High Priestess is a
Thanks for
spiritual
the
guide card if ever
follow.
there was one. The message must have been a warning.
If this force is connected to Gabriel, and if he's so very psychic, then why doesn't it just go to him? Why say it to me?
Maybe Gabriel's blocked. Maybe he's purposefully blocking. There is that duality business. Let's go on and see if it becomes clear. The fourth card, remember,
Okay.
represents the current
Here we
situation.
go.
It's death.
Oh. Nothing to worry about then.
Now you just leave interpretation up to me, Sugar Pie. It's a transformation card, dying to one thing and being born to another. It is painful, but it isn't necessarily bad. Two of Wands.
Uh-oh.
Oh, my.
What?
Yes, the person trying to communicate Gabriel's a maternity
is
suit
not
lawyer.
good here. Wands is Mars in Aries. That's a war card. In conjunction with the death card, there are two possible transformations.
Two transformations?
Yes, dear.
He can become a
Gabriel is waging a
werewolf.
spiritual battle. The transformation might be good,
Maybe good.
or evil.
Maybe bad.
That must be the purpose of the High Priestess. She's trying to guide him.
So you think he really might be in danger?
Grace is all over the
yes,
map
dear.
emotionally.
Gabriel's very essence is at stake.
When she's like, oh, she's logical.
He
She's
takes the
all
wrong
over the
path
place.
with his powers. Emma and I will stay in town. You must let me know if anything else happens that we can read for clues. Let the Force use you.
I thought she was gonna say, let the Force be with you.
I'd better go.
Anytime you need us, stop by.
And be careful now.
Thanks.
Thank you for the follow, Thug Labor. Glad you're having fun. Hey, Kutan. Let the Force use you sounds kind of lewd. Well, it's a little bit terrifying as well. Hello, old
Herr
man.
Huber?
Yes?
Oh, good. We have something to talk about.
I was wondering if you've changed your mind about telling me where Gabriel is. It's really important.
No. Sorry.
Thanks.
I'm gonna
Good job.
cry. Tell me that you can help me. So that was really nothing. Can we look at this again? I think this is the guy that tried to rescue us. Service of the Force used me, and the Force had a great time, but once I had nothing, it left me for someone else.
So that's King Ludwig II of Bavaria.
That looked sort of like the guy in her dream, but not really. Who's this guy?
King Ludwig II of Bavaria.
That's not the same guy at all. Alright. There's nothing else you can... There's nothing...
Grace Nakamura.
Okay, it was just us. Okay, so... Let's talk to this guy over here. Oh, not the post again. No, not the post. The other one. Here we go. That is so a man in drag. No. Just they put a wig on him. Thanks for the follow, 735-625. Glad you're having fun. No one answered. Grade's walking speed is intense. She is intense. I want someone to tell me what these
I
plants
wonder
are.
what kind of flowers these...
Is it wolfsbane? Wahahaha. That would make a lot of sense. Alright, let's try and talk to the priest. Oh, the priest's not in here. Can we go up here? Oh, shoot! Hi, Gerda! Hey, friend!
Gerda's here. I wonder what she's up to.
Thank you for the follow, Isaiah! I'm glad you're having a good time. You still say they're poppy plants? I don't think they are. Oh. Elliot, thank you for the tip.
Oh my god. Gerda was in love with Wolfgang.
Of course! How could you not see that? You're blinded by jealousy. If you say on Discord, if you say at everyone first. Oh, cool. Thank you for the help, Elliot. I appreciate it. Alright, so we didn't realize she was in love with him. And
Boy, do I feel stupid or what.
Yeah, you're kind of mean.
I really should apologize, but I really should apologize, but I don't want to interrupt her. Maybe there's something else I can do.
Not be a jerk? That would be nice. Use your screwdriver! No, that's not good. Grace, apologize. The next cutscene? Okay, cool. Are we missing some stuff? Wait, what is this? Oh, that's the letter to Ludwig. We don't have anything. Can we? No, I thought we want to give her Gabriel's letter. What's this? Stop! I don't know what else to do.
Gracie, something's come up. I'm on a new case. Too bad.
Okay,
I know I
never
have
mind.
a lot to
That's
tell
his letter
Graham. I
he
send
sent
my
her.
love.
I don't need to hear this anymore. Alright, so what can we do? We don't have anything cool to give her. That's our friend from Yale. It's our wallet. Alright, should we pick some flowers to give her to put on the grave, I guess? Who's this lady?
I don't want to disturb her.
She wasn't there before. That was creepy.
I wonder what kind of flowers these are.
Who cares? Pick some to give
I
to
wonder
her.
what kind of...
Okay, how can we... What are we supposed to do? I want her to apologize. We can use our notebook! What? So Gabriel's notebook doesn't work, but hers does? What? Church ghost. Last night. You never knew this? I didn't know this either. This is so cool. I didn't think her notebook did anything.
Last night, a man and woman from Pennsylvania showed up at the castle to meet the
They sound like they're from
Schwarzenegger.
Indiana.
The woman, Mrs. Smith,
Not
seemed to
Pennsylvania.
go into a trance and warned me about the Black Wolf. 3 Black Wolves? That's a little hard to believe. I'll keep this under the Black Wolf section until I learn more about it.
You didn't know this was like, you could do this? I didn't know this either.
Werner Huber says that Ludwig II was the last true king Bavaria had. Says he was a genius, built castles.
Wow.
Politicians declared him insane and he was arrested. Werner thinks he was murdered. Obviously, Werner's opinions are one thing, but I need to find out some facts. Mrs. Smith thinks that Christian Ritter's letter to Ludwig about the Black Wolf and her own warning about the Black Wolf so soon thereafter are pointing the way to Ludwig. She says I should look into him. While I may not totally buy her logic, I can't help but agree with her.
This is so cool. So you beat the game twice without ever opening up her notebook. It's really convenient, like a notebook. I did not. Anyway. Blah, blah.
Christian
So it's
Ritter's journal confirms
I don't
that
know how
he
you say
was
notebook
after
wrong,
a
but I
werewolf
did.
and had connected him with someone called the Black Wolf. Doesn't look like he ever got him, though, because the entries end there, and his date of death is given as 4 March 1864. Same date as the letter. If he died for the letter, it was in vain. The original's still sitting here. I'm pretty sure Ludwig never saw it. Guess that old Ritter curse was doing its thing. I found a letter in the Werewolf lore book. It was dated 1864 and was written by a Schottenjäger, Christian Ritter, to King Ludwig II of Bavaria. It warned him about someone called the Black Wolf. Not sure if it's related to werewolves or not, but the letter was in the Werewolf book.
Okay.
Find out more about this subject if possible. St. George's Church records. There was a letter in the von Rollick file from a lawyer in Buenos Aires. He was requesting information about the case for the family. The envelope had a black seal featuring a wolf. St. George's Church records gives Baron von Rollick's last confession. Says before he became a werewolf, he was a real SOB and was nicknamed the Black Wolf. also had a black wolf on the von Rollick coat of arms. Says he became a werewolf when cursed by a gypsy to live up to his name. Am I going crazy? The Black Wolf is who Christian Ritter was warning Ludwig II about. But that was 1864, and von Rollick died here in 1750? Do all werewolves call themselves that? Definitely need to find out more about the 1864 Black Wolf, if possible.
Cool beans.
Rathaus records. The Black Wolf caught in 1750 was brought to Rittersburg in order to give
This
it
is
time
really nice
to
to refresh
regain
me
its
on the
human
game, too.
form.
Sorry
They
if it's
wanted
boring
to
for you guys, but
identify
it's
it.
definitely helping me think through the case. Okay, so the werewolf was kept in Rathaus dungeon. The werewolf was tried and sentenced to death. He died there in town. Rathaus records, the Black Wolf was also brought to Rittersburg, did transform back into a man. He was identified as Baron von Rollick. Werner Huber says there was a werewolf trial in Rittersburg. He thinks it occurred sometime in 1700s. I think I'll look into it. It's not boring at all. Good to know. Victor Ritter's journal. I think I found the werewolf that Werner mentioned. An entry dated 20 April 1750 describes how Victor trapped a black wolf that was supposedly a werewolf. Victor wounded it in the chest. It was brought to Rittersburg. Not sure on what happened next. The Schattenjägers didn't involve themselves in the trials, it seems. Okay, I'm going to log this, even though I have no idea if it's complete garbage or not, just in case. It means something later on. Mrs. Smith did Gabriel's tarot and mine. See, look, she just wrote down everything we just went through. She claims there's this huge priestess, a powerful feminine spirit guide trying to warn Gabriel about this black wolf stuff and assist him because Gabriel is in deep doo-doo. Your werewolf name is Mr. Schnookum, says Servo. He's supposedly got this dual nature, yeah, dumb and dumber, and he's going to be going through one of two possible transformations. The spirit guide is trying to help him pick the right one, supposedly not just for him, Gabriel, but for herself and or someone she represents as well, maybe one of his old creditors.
Okay, I'm going to log this, even. He supposedly got this.
Okay, I want to turn the page because I... Oops. Oh well, I missed that part.
An interesting note. Seems like I'm hearing from a few different sources that the Ritters aren't the only hunters of evil around. Mr. and Mrs. Smith consider themselves crusaders. There's a group in Brazil, and Mrs. Smith says there are others. Curious. Be on the lookout for this. Maybe they can help teach me a few things. And Gabriel, assuming he can learn.
Okay, so there's... Sure it's in Gabriel's case.
Gerda says that Gabriel's on a case for Werner Huber, who runs the Gasthof in town. She won't tell me what it's about, though. She says he's staying somewhere near Munich.
This is funny.
Did I mention that Gabriel is a pig? Good thing I'm doing all this for me.
Alright, that's the last one.
I wonder what kind of flower.
This is hilarious. It's in... Holy cow, this diary's incendiary. I can't even say that right. It's on fire, says Jake. Judge Judy Flip. Judge Jody P. Flip. Thank you for the follow. I'm glad you're having a good time. I think it's funny how the follow bot and the alerts aren't quite on the same page. It's not enough for Grace to vent every single person she sees. Yeah, it's fun. There we go. There's Judge Jody. America. Welcome to the stream. Maybe she is holding back, which is kind of hilarious to think about. Alright. How can we make this better with Gerda? Yeah, yours is the same thing. It's funny because it should be at the same time when they're pretty far apart. Oh boy.
Saint Georg.
When you say Georg, you just mean George. Let's walk up here. Let's go over here. Let's talk to Gerda. Can we go in? Can't go in.
I really should apologize, but I don't want to interrupt her. Maybe there's something else I can do.
What else can she do? Throw a screwdriver at it? I don't think so. Okay, let me get some flowers or something. We need to go back to the castle and find something to do. Because we've already dealt with... Here we go. Oh, we can get those roses, guys. We can get those roses for the grave. From the secret passageway. Come on. Secret passageway, roses. You think it's doing a lot of ghost follows? I'm convinced people are following me who've never actually been to my channel. What's a ghost follow? Okay, I don't like that. Why is she so dramatic down there? There we go. Pick some roses. Oh, really? Bummer. I want to be excited about... I want to be excited about follows that they're actual people. There we go. We're going to pick all these roses and... You can still be excited. More follows is good. Alright, good. We got the go. You don't have to be suspicious about everything. Something bad's gonna happen in this passageway, just judging by the music that's on there. I don't wanna wait for my life to be over. Servo, I think it's because it's sort of they're dancing around that song. Okay, we don't need to see her put on her coat again. Alright, here we go. We're gonna give her some roses and say sorry. I don't know why they keep saying how Grace is so logical when clearly... Nope, nope, nope. Grace, don't turn around. Don't turn around. Don't want to see my heart breaking. I want to know right now, what will it be? There's the flowers. Here we go. This is my Pie Chemist's favorite cutscene. Oh, here we go again. Such heavy piano. It's very back-to-school specialist. I got you some flowers.
There. That's better, don't you think? I'm so sorry. I was an idiot.
Gabriel and I, we never...
I know.
I know.
It's my fault.
It almost sounds like that's
It's
her
Gabriel's
girlfriend and
fault.
she
He never
thought she
tells me
was
anything.
cheating with Gabriel the way they're talking.
I don't know why he didn't want me on this case.
Maybe he just...
Don't even try to make excuses for him.
Grace.
Still. He's up to his neck in it, I think. Will you help me out with something?
That refrain's not annoying at all.
Of course.
I have to do some research on Ludwig.
You ship them, Papaya?
I want to go see some of his castles.
Take Gabriel's car.
Wreck it. We hate him.
There's a map of southern Bavaria in the car. Ludwig's castles are all marked.
Thanks.
Thanks. Why do they have Ludwig's castles marked in a map?
Good luck.
Yeah, Grace is like, I'm sorry for I lashed out with you and mean, but now I'm gonna lash out and be mean. Grace and Gerda coming this fall. Alright, so we've no more to say.
I think she wants to be left alone.
Probably. I don't know if they're it could be that Jane Jensen's actually really good at plot and is kind of playing with this idea that people kind of assume Grace is super logical because that's sort of like an Asian stereotype when really she's super emotional as well as being, we should probably save it, as well as being like a little bit ridiculous and judgmental based on nothing but her personal feelings. Or it could just be inconsistency in the character. But she's definitely not like the way people say, oh, you're so logical. I'm like, half the time she's just flying off the handle. Pius says, yeah, after watching this scene, one of my friends decided that Grace and Gerda need to team up and be Schattenjägers together. And I agree. Yes, they would be good Schattenjägers together. Gabriel's just sort of like, I'm going to ask a bunch of questions. Whoa, that was a cool little, like, she did her fingers like this around the steering wheel. Like, look at this! There's, and then that's where we were? Okay, there's Munich. Okay. Let's go to this one. I don't know. There's Rittersburg. Let's go this one first. Here we go. Wait, is this just where we were? Wait, this isn't a castle or is this a castle? Wait, this isn't the same, is it? Wait. Yes, this is not the thing. I wasn't trying to go back home. Look, a Volkswagen. Exactly. I kind of want like a 1982 Rabbit repainted and refurbished and like new on the inside. I think it'd be fun. Going here. So that was supposed to be for Rittersburg and I wasn't getting it. Ooh! I told you guys I want to go on that river cruise. For some reason my alert's not going off, but my bot says that Rick Yarlow followed. So thank you. I'm glad you're having a good time. There's a boat cruise that goes all the way up through, I think from like Hungary, and goes up. There it is! I always want to do that river cruise. It sounds fun. You get to view these from the river, how they were built to be seen. Here we go. Squirrel! Alright, who are you?
I don't think the guards want to be bothered while on duty.
Oh, can we listen to the tour tape? Of course.
Our tour begins in the entry hall.
Okay.
Ludwig II lived from 1845 to 1886. He assumed the Bavarian throne at the age of 18 when his father died. Ludwig's passion was building castles. He built 3 during his lifetime: Linderhof, Herrenchiemsee, and Neuschwanstein. Plans for a 4th castle, Falkenstein, were underway when he died. In addition to his obsession with building, Ludwig also had a passion for classical heroic German mythology.
Heroic?
A taste he shared with the German opera composer Richard Wagner. Neuschwanstein is decorated throughout with themes from these stories, most of which directly relate to Wagner's operas.
Why is he walking out? Hey, dude! Okay, let's look at this. Whoa!
These scenes seem to tell a story, but I have no idea what story. These scenes seem to...
The paintings in this room are from the Siegfried saga.
Siegfried? Okay, what's that?
The paintings in this...
Okay, well, I don't know what that is. Am I supposed to know what that is?
The paintings in this room are from the Siegfried saga.
Okay, well, what's that? I'm just supposed to know, game? I don't think so. What's this? This looks like a door we should open.
I wonder where that door leads.
Let's open it.
I wonder where that door leads.
The closed door leads to the tower, which is not part of the tour. The king was making his way to this very door when he was arrested in 1886.
Looks like Alexander the Great making him a sword.
I wonder why Ludwig was going to the tower the night he was arrested.
Why is he going to the tower?
I wonder why Ludwig was...
Can you like sneak in there? Screwdriver! Oh, come on! Alright, I guess we have to go to the next room. There's the guard.
I don't think the guards want to be bothered while on duty.
Okay.
You are now standing in the king's bedroom. The theme of the bedroom is Tristan and Isolde, the tragic love story retold in Wagner's opera. The opera was given its first performance in Munich in 1865, and a 20-year-old Ludwig attended. This is probably the most elaborate and expensive bedroom ever created. It took 14 wood carvers 4.5 years to create this room. It was this kind of extravagance that bankrupted the king. In the years before his death, he found it increasingly difficult to find money from any source.
Did he? And the guard leaves. This guard's not a very good guard. He's like, oh, she can stand there and just like steal everything. It's fine. Oh, another guard came in. It's a pretty girl. Okay.
I don't think the guards want to be bothered while on duty.
Okay.
Scenes from the opera Tristan and Isolde. Scenes from the opera Tristan and Isolde.
No other detail game? Thanks. Ooh.
Did they have running water in 1886?
That's a good question. I don't know.
The richly carved bed, with its canopy, resembles a Gothic building and its turrets. The bed's draperies were handmade by dozens of Bavarian seamstresses.
Okay.
Maybe Ludwig thought all this luxury would help him sleep.
Probably.
Maybe Ludwig thought all this luxury would help him sleep.
It's the mirror.
Did they have running water in 1886?
Do you guys know, I just read this the other day and I never thought this through. It makes perfect sense. Do you know why, like in mythology and stuff, vampires can't have their photo taken and can't be seen in mirrors? I did not realize this. It's because mirrors used to have a silver backing on them and they associated, I mean, it's not a real thing, it's a myth, but because they, you know, silver could hurt vampires, so they couldn't see themselves. Something like silver impurity. And also, you used to use like silver when you develop film, and so that's why they thought, so they're like, modern vampires should be able to, but that was like an interesting thing. I hadn't thought it through that carefully. Yeah, they were just camera shy. Yeah, I hadn't, like, it made perfect sense, like, oh, that's why, but I'd never really thought it through. It's funny like that. Alright, so this is where we also, oh no, this is a new place.
This is Ludwig's private chapel. The king was a devout Catholic, as were all of the Wittelsbacher rulers. They supported the Roman Church even when other European countries were dominated by Protestantism.
Okay, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Germany like Lutheran through and through? Like, it doesn't make sense how much Catholicism there is in what they're talking about, because weren't they, like, wasn't Lutheranism? Thank you for the follow! Noah, I'm glad you're having a good time. Because Martin Luther came from Germany, like, that was, like, the birth of Protestantism. So it's weird, like, they keep saying, like, well, they're so Catholic in Germany, but I didn't think they were that Catholic in Germany. I mean, they're much more Catholic, you would say, like, in France and obviously Spain. But I thought Germany was the heart of you know, Martin Luther. So that's weird, because the Reformation started there. So they keep saying all this Catholic stuff, and I'm doubting it, but I mean, Jan Jensen knows her stuff. In Rome, they used polished silver as mirrors. They had to use that for a long time. It'd be weird to like never really see your face and not really know what you look like.
The Black Madonna of Altadine. I wonder what her story is all about.
I don't know.
Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant.
Thank you for being a friend, Hippo. And thank you for being a friend. Hippo's currently playing Goblins 2. You should check out his stream.
The stained glass window depicts St. Louis receiving the last sacraments.
Okay.
The stained glass window.
Okay. Break the windows.
It's a beautiful crucifix. Ivory and gold.
Ellie says the majority are Christian or Roman Catholic. But that's the thing, like... I don't know. It's interesting. I guess I think because of Martin Luther, I had this idea that they weren't as much, but maybe that's not true. I thought the ruling... Anyway. I'll have to look... I want to look that up later. I have real interest in, like, that time period in Europe. So, I'm like, what? Alright, is there anything else with this new tour team?
You are now standing in the king's bedroom.
Okay,
the
so
theme of the bedroom is triste. This is probably the most elaborate and expensive. It was this kind of extravagant.
Okay, yeah, we heard you before. Okay, so we've already been here. Oh, we haven't been here yet. Okay.
This is the king's living room. The walls are decorated with scenes from the Lohengrin saga. The king first saw Wagner's opera Lohengrin when he was 16, and it so affected him that he considered it a form of enlightenment. The tragedy of Lohengrin was his essential loneliness. This too was Ludwig's own fate. Ludwig withdrew more and more into his fantasy world of epic heroes and absolute monarchy. An ideal he was determined to create in his castles if he could not have it in his real life.
What's up with Ludwig,
he
guys?
only wanted to be alone with his dreams, so much so that even his servants were kept at a distance and were not allowed to look at him.
What were you afraid
Thank you for the follow, Blur! Thank you for having fun! Okay.
The Miracle of the Grail.
Okay, so the Holy Grail.
These linens look seriously expensive and seriously old.
Well, yeah. What are you doing? Move! Like, it's weird how, like, the guards leave you in, like, a specific order. Oh boy, it's,
The swan motif is featured throughout the castle, but it is particularly prominent in this room. Both the swan and the lily were symbols Ludwig associated with himself. They represented his ideals of majesty and purity. The painting behind the swan shows Lohengrin's arrival.
More swans.
pretty much a lot of swans. It's okay. Chill out. Whoa, this is weird.
This is a reproduction of the grotto from the Tannhäuser saga. In such places, Ludwig could pretend he was one of his beloved mythic heroes. As the grotto personifies, the castles were solitary playgrounds built for Ludwig alone. He believed the masses were too coarse to appreciate fine art, and he seldom entertained guests. In fact, Ludwig had a standing order that upon his death, the castles were to be destroyed. Fortunately, the estate was in such debt that the castles were opened for paying tours only weeks after Ludwig's death.
Wow.
They haven't closed since. It is one of the great ironies of Ludwig's story that the castles that he was thought insane for building are now considered Bavaria's finest treasures. They have paid for their construction many times over.
Interesting. And there's another guard. Servo was talking about the, yeah, Martin Luther basically, he started off as a monk, and then he went to Rome. There was some sort of like, his monastery sent him to Rome because they had some sort of theological disagreement, and when he was there, he was really upset by what he felt was like the contrast. So he ended up starting, like, he started off like just, he nailed these, start thinking of them, but basically challenges to the Catholic Church, and he ended up starting his own, like, starting Protestantism. One of the things he did is like, he encouraged, should say, nuns and priests should get married. So he actually, the most hilarious thing is, these nuns were reading all of his, like, writings, and they agreed with him, and they wanted to leave the nunnery, but they couldn't. So he snuck them out in wine barrels, and he promised a husband for each of them. Well, the one lady, he couldn't get her married, and she would berate him every day about, where's my husband? And he married her, and they were in love. Like, they have really great love letters to each other. Thank you for the follow, Josh. I'm glad you're having a good time. But their letters are hilarious. Her diary is hilarious. She wrote in there famously, "You're a pal and a confidant. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being a friend, Earth Machine." It's probably not interesting to me, but like, she wrote in her diary, Martin Luther's a very flatulent man. She was like really hilarious. They had a lot of kids together, but like, he suffered from depression a lot, and he sent her letters. He was away for a while, and he sent her letters that he was super depressed. So when he was coming home, he saw there's like all these signs that the house was in mourning, and he, like, when he pulled up, and there's black curtains and like all this stuff, and so he's like freaking out because he's like, who died? Like, who died? So he like runs in, and his wife has this black veil on, and he's like, oh my gosh, who died? Who died? And she pulls up a veil. She's like, if I thought the great Martin Luther was so depressed, I thought God must be dead. And that was like her idea of a joke. She's like, she's really was a smart lady, an interesting lady. Anyway, it's only interesting to me. But if you want to read about, like, they're, as a historical couple goes, they're interesting and refreshing. And a lot of their, like, letters to each other, and like the way they really were affectionate and loved each other a lot, but like the frankness of how they talk to each other is really cute. Like, there's a lot of cute stories about them and about her. They had what probably you'd consider, I don't say a modern marriage, but like, she didn't put up with his crap about anything, and they were a fun couple. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow, Nemule. I appreciate it. That's awesome. Now you want to learn more about them, since Papaya Chemist. Yeah, they're fun. They're a fun read.
Pretty nice place to work.
I should probably let you know too. Also, he was like pretty progressive as far as non-persecution of other religions and stuff. It's sad, like, he died of, they think it was some sort of like food poisoning or like infection, but he like suffered for a while, and he had a lot of like hallucinations and said a lot of crazy stuff that didn't jive with anything else he said. But doctors think he got, I think that thank you for the follow. Gosh, why are you following me when I'm talking about weird historical stuff? But thank you. I'm glad you're having fun. You know the thing that happens when you get, like, wheat gets this mold on it, and it causes like hallucinations and possible death? That's what I think he died of. But anyway, for his actual life before he died, he was just a cool dude in a lot of ways.
Pretty nice place to work. Pretty nice place to work.
Pretty nice place to work. And we don't have... Okay, why are they showing this?
Pretty nice place to...
Okay, thank you. What's this?
I doubt there's anything left in there now. Besides, the guard would kill me if I touched it.
Can we wait till the guard's out of the room?
I doubt there's any...
Because the guards are doing this weird thing where they're kind of like coming in and coming out.
This is the king's study.
Okay.
Ludwig spent much time at his desk, writing letters, drawing up plans for his projects, and studying his favorite authors. He loved poetry, history, and the classics. In later years, he also studied the occult. What affairs of state he did reluctantly attend to were generally attended to alone at his desk in writing. His reluctance to meet with his heads of state and perform the duties of the king were one of the reasons for the charges brought against him in 1886. But Ludwig dreamt of true kingship and a true monarchy, and the small powers left to him after Bavaria's succeeded power to Prussia only incited his disdain and frustration.
Okay. So they keep coming in and out, and I'm not really sure. Whoa. We have not seen into this castle, guys. Elliot says the aristocracy does what they want.
This is the final room of our tour, the Singers' Hall. It was modeled after the Singers' Hall of the Wartburg Castle, where minstrel competitions were held in the 13th century. The hall was built for small private concerts, but Ludwig himself never gave one here. It is said that during the last few years of Wagner's life, he came to Neuschwanstein frequently and performed for the king alone in this room. The hall is probably best known for its enigmatic wolf paintings.
Oh.
The original paintings were from the Parsifal saga, but in 1882, Ludwig had them replaced, supplying the description and titles of the new paintings himself.
Oh, sorry.
This is the final room of our tour, the Singers' Hall. It was modeled after the Singers. The hall was built for small private. The hall is probably best known for its enigmatic wolf paintings.
Okay. I need
The
to listen to
original
this, I'm
paintings were from the Parsifal saga, but in 1882, Ludwig had them replaced, supplying the description and titles of the new paintings himself. While all the other rooms in the castle show scenes from Wagner's operas, the scenes in this room are not from any opera that anyone can identify. It is yet another of the many mysteries associated with the life of the fairy tale king.
Okay. Oh, it's a wolf.
Why would Ludwig have wolf paintings in his castle?
Because he knew about werewolves.
Why would Ludwig have wolf paintings in his...
Okay.
I don't think the guards want to be bothered while on duty.
Who are these guys? Oh, it's going to tell us.
The hunters tracked down Engelhard and Hildegunde.
Okay.
Hildegunde's imprisonment.
Okay, and then there's wolves. Actually, let's go back over this way. We can't comment on that wolf? What?
The wedding feast of Hildegunde and the Baron. The death of Engelhard.
Oh. Interesting.
The death of Engelhard.
Okay. Now we're turned around this way. Ooh, what's this?
Ludwig's childhood castle, Hohenschwangau, is visible from the lookout in the Singers' Hall.
Kutan says, every time I see this game played, I always giggle when the actors switch between wolf and woof.
Nice view of the Alps. Nice view of the Alps.
The hills are alive with the sound of music. Okay, which way am I supposed to go? Nope, I was already that way. No, okay, let's go this way. We already did this. We can't go this way? Oh, it's just, it's not, it's a picture, it's not anything. Oh, did I just exit the whole place? Thank you for the follow, Tiny Orange. Okay. Okay, was this, we were just here. This is where we need to go. Here we go. We screeched our tires, jeez. Hey, you!
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
I'm very grumpy. Is this the Ludwig Museum?
Ist das die Ludwig Museum?
Ja, ja. Ludwig der Zweite von Bayern.
She seems very angry as she's discussing this.
Ich hätte gern eine Eintrittskarte fürs Museum.
Ja, 8 Mark für eine Ganztagskarte.
You love this woman? Wait, did she just take all of our money?
Danke.
Bitte.
That's gotta be more than... Okay, let's look over here. Who's this? Ooh.
One of Ludwig's few close friends was Empress Elizabeth of Austria.
It's more than 8 marks.
She was a distant cousin of the boy Prince, and he saw her often growing up. Graceful and beautiful, Elizabeth seemed to represent the feminine ideal to the younger Ludwig. Their friendship continued after her marriage, mainly by correspondence. She remained a source of stability for Ludwig throughout his life. In keeping with Ludwig's love of romance and drama, he called her the Dove, and he to her was the Eagle.
Okay, interesting. Let's get all this backstory, guys.
July 3rd, 1863. Elizabeth, you can have no idea, dear cousin, how happy you made me. The hours recently passed with you in the railway carriage I consider among the happiest in my life. Never will their memory fade.
That seems like more than friendship
you gave
there.
Me permission to visit you at Ischl. If the time comes for this ardent hope to be fulfilled,
Lots
I
of
shall
cousins
be of
marry
all
each other in
men
the royal
upon
families.
earth the most blessed. The feelings of sincere love and reverence and faithful attachment to you, which I cherished in my heart even as a boy, makes me imagine heaven upon earth and will be extinguished by death alone. I beg you with all my heart to forgive the contents of this
Doesn't seem
letter,
like cousinly affection.
but I could not help myself. Ludwig.
Seems a little bit more friendly than's warranted for a cousin. Okay, I'm gonna read this and stuff. Elizabeth frequently gave Ludwig advice on royal conduct, hoping to protect him from unfavorable public opinion. March 1st. My dearest Eagle, you have not written for me in a few months. I have missed you. I often try to imagine what you are doing. I hear tales that you have been on a retreat and have not been seen in Munich for some time. I suspect it is the new friend you wrote of so mysteriously that takes you away from home. I hope you are enjoying yourself, my beloved, but I beg you to caution. The people need to see you at the throne. I also hesitate to suggest that what your officials do in your absence may not always be in your own best interest. You have always been a true king, but you must let the people see you to ensure that they don't forget you. Your Dove. Okay. Ludwig's friends were concerned for his mental state long before his arrest. My beloved Eagle, in your last letter you spoke so movingly of your torment that I was moved to tears. What is this torment? Why won't you confess to me what is truly troubling you? You must know that I would never despise you, no matter how horrible you believe your sins to be. Please do not write such barbs to my heart by even suggesting such things. If you do not wish to confess to me, at least tell me of how I can aid you. I am always your true love, your Dove. Yeah, this is not a cousinly relationship. Okay, hang on. This letter. In this letter, dated November 1886, Elizabeth of Austria thanks Bishop Frank for his assistance in helping her fulfill Ludwig's last wishes. She writes that she knows it was an unusual request, but she believes Ludwig had reasons of his own for wishing to be done. She hopes that his spirit finds peace at last. No further reference to this letter has ever been found. One can only speculate what last wishes of a cornered and embattled Ludwig might have been.
In this letter, no further.
Okay.
What were his last wishes? This place is giving me more questions than answers.
I want more answers, less questions.
They certainly make an incredible looking couple.
Yeah, but they're
They
not.
certainly make an incredible looking couple.
What's that? The game's getting a little crackly here.
They certainly make an incredible
I
looking
mean, he
couple.
looks pretty good, man.
They certainly make an incredible.
That crackling's from the game, and I don't like it. Okay, let's look at him over here.
Ludwig is Prince Charming. He played the part well.
Okay, so is this way the exhibit? I hope so. Do we need to ask her?
I don't have anything to say to her at the moment.
I have nothing to say to her. Okay, so what more information? I should realize that all of Grace's chapters seem to be information gathering. June 7th, 1886, a group of men arrive at well, I'll see what she says.
June 7th, 1886. A group of men arrive at Neuschwanstein Castle. Ludwig composes a pamphlet explaining the subversive acts of the conspirators and eloquently pleading with...
Okay, hang on. Demanding to take the king in custody. With them is Dr. Guden, the doctor who had been in charge of Otto, the king's mentally ill brother. The men have an order for the king's arrest on the grounds of insanity. They are refused admittance by a brave group of farmers, local soldiers who have come to Ludwig's aid. They are forced to retreat to nearby this town. This is the first Ludwig hears of the conspiracy. Ludwig composes a pamphlet explaining the subversive acts of the conspirators and eloquently pleading with his people for aid. The pamphlet is smuggled out of Neuschwanstein and printed, but the pamphlets are seized before they can be distributed. Wow. June 12th, 1886. Ludwig knows the conspirators will return. He despairs. He asks his servant for the keys to the tower. The servant, fearing the king intends suicide, says the key is lost. Unbeknownst to Ludwig, the conspirators arrive at the castle. This time there is no one to stop them. Ludwig is lured from his bedroom to the entry hall of the castle on pretense. There he is taken into custody. Ludwig is taken by carriage to Berg, where his brother Otto had long been imprisoned. This is a great blow to the king's state of mind. While on the way, the group stops at to change horses. Ludwig asks to see the postmistress, Frau Vogel. She brings him a glass of water, and he says something to her. She never reveals these last words to anyone. Oh. So he told her something. I wonder if she did confess it to somebody in Berg.
June 12th, unbeknownst, Ludwig is...
Already read this. June 13, 1886. At Berg, Ludwig seems cooperative and coherent. Dr. Guden writes to the government that he has Ludwig well under control. The two men go out for a walk, and Dr. Guden is so confident he dismisses the guards. When Ludwig and the doctor do not return for several hours, a search is undertaken. The bodies of the two men are found in the lake, drowned. Circumstances unknown. June 18th, 1886, Ludwig's funeral procession marches through the streets of Munich, followed by enormous crowds of mourners. The service is held at a packed St. Michael's. Sorry for the yawn. Church. The lightning strikes the church during the service, but no one is harmed. Ludwig's body is entombed in the Wittersbach crypt at St. Michael's. His heart is placed in an urn in the pilgrimage chapel at the Wittersbach tradition. The urn is shown to the right. Hi, Cheddar Man. This is exciting. I'm not yawning. I've had a long week. The last 2 weeks have been really crazy. Ludwig's funeral procession marched... Okay, we already looked at this. Okay. What's this over here?
I have no idea what that says. Looks old.
Looks old.
I have no idea what that says.
Everything else is English on it. You're telling me that doesn't? This is from the dream.
Oh my god. That's the sleigh from my dream.
It's the sleigh from her dream.
Maybe Mrs. Smith will know what my dream meant. I have to ask someone. This thing is getting too weird.
Okay.
Maybe Mrs. Smith will know what my dream meant.
Maybe she will. What does this say? The midnight sleigh ride. Ludwig went on a long sleigh rides in the middle of the night, particularly in his later years. It is said, it's her dream sleigh! This week on Sleigh Hunters. It is said that he suffered from insomnia, headaches, and toothaches, and the ride soothed his restlessness. The sight of the king's grand sleigh speeding through the countryside of the Alps often startled the peasants and became a superstitious omen of ill fortune.
The midnight sleigh ride. I can see.
I can see why. Alright. Ooh, what's the... Oh, it's his death mask.
Ludwig's death mask. Wow.
Doesn't quite look the same as him, though, does it?
Ludwig's death mask. Wow.
Okay. Okay. Ludwig and Wagner. Ludwig loved the operas of his contemporary, Richard Wagner. He helped support Wagner's music through much of his life. Ludwig considered Wagner a close friend, often calling him the great friend. Wagner encouraged this infatuation, some believe for personal gain. What is this, Cheddar Man? What is this? It's a Barbie dream date! Is it the sleigh edition? Okay, so some people think Wagner used him and was mean. Gotcha. Are these the same as we looked from a different angle? No. Even after Wagner's death, Ludwig still showed signs of obsession with the composer. This letter, written in 1882 by Ludwig to the conductor of the Munich Opera, instructs the conductor to make preparations for a new Wagner opera. The conductor went to see the king as instructed. When he arrived, Ludwig was ill and refused to see him. Nothing further was ever heard of this mysterious new Wagner opera. Was it a figment of an ill man's health? An ill man's desperate wishes. For a new opera! I just want a new opera! Ludwig is offered a crown by laurels by the genius of immortal fame. What is this?
Ludwig is offered a crown of laurels by the genius of immortal fame.
That's weird. By the power of the lily, we shall have the strength to resist all temptations throughout the whole year. This is his diary. Solemn oath before the picture of the great king. Refrain for 3 months from all excitement. This oath has its binding power as well as its potency. Okay. You like the music? It's the Wagner music or the music here? Solemn oath before the picture. Okay, we just...
26. What excitement. 26 July 1875. Solemn oath.
Okay. Of the game. This is a it's definitely a lot less irritating than her music when she's at the Rittersberg castle. What's this over here? Oh boy.
Looks like it weighs a ton.
Probably does.
Ludwig's Grand Master wardrobe from the Knights of St. George.
Oh, was he involved in the Knights of St. George? That's interesting. Whoa, his medals.
Signets and sash pins from the Order of the Knights of St. George. These were worn on Ludwig's uniform, as befitted his rank of Grand Master. They are now the property of the Bavarian Crown Treasury. I wonder if these pins have any symbolic meaning. I wonder if these pins have any...
Interesting. You love museums. And this game is like a virtual tour through an imaginary museum.
Richard Wagner.
Okay.
Ludwig's diary. Ludwig kept a diary from 1869 when he was 24 years old until his death. The diary provides a fascinating look into the mind of this tormented man. The original diary is kept in the Royal Archives. A few entries are shown on the opposite wall.
We need to get to those Royal Archives.
I've got to see that diary.
Yes. How are we going to get it? I didn't know George Michael had his own Order of Knights. There you go. Now you want to play more games about museums? Are there more games about museums? anything else? How do we get to the royal treasury? That's another question. Where's the royal archives? So maybe we can ask her, like, where's the royal archives?
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
Is there a way to see more of Ludwig's diary?
Ludwig's Tagebuch. Im Museum.
Is there a night at the museum, Dame?
Ja. Wo kann ich Ludwigs Tagebuch hier anschauen?
Die Tagebücher sind ganz persönlich.
I don't speak German either, Game.
Die sind in den königlichen Archiven. Niemand darf die lesen. Aber nein, niemand darf die lesen.
Danke.
What did she say? That lady looks so excited. She is very excited.
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
Do you know anything about the new Wagner opera?
Im Museum ist einen Brief von Ludwig über eine neue Wagner-Oper.
Ja, ja.
She's like,
ich kenne diesen Brief.
Wo kann ich mehr von dieser Wagner-Oper sehen?
Ich weiß
yes!
nichts über Wagner.
I've read that
Das
one.
hier ist kein Wagner-Museum.
Ja, ich weiß.
They stay in the museum overnight. Yes, I remember that book.
Befindet sich ein Wagner-Museum. Versuchen Sie es halt doch, ne?
Bayreuth. Danke.
I don't understand anything that just happened, game. Yes, the mixed up files of somebody. Yeah, it's just an F. I don't think it's Frankie Finkerstein or anything like that. So how are we supposed to... Can we look at our inventory? No, I don't want a hint. Oh, there's the Wagner Museum. Okay, so we got a new place to go.
Grüß Gott.
I've seen this guy before.
Ist
Where?
das die Wagner Museum?
Yeah, you're an American, aren't you? I'm afraid the house is closed this time of year. It will be open next month.
Crap.
You are interested in Wagner?
Very interested. Very recently very interested.
I've seen this guy somewhere before.
Most of the house is closed for cleaning, but a few rooms are open. I shouldn't let you probably, but...
Mrs. Basil Eve Frankenweller.
If it is
See?
only you,
Frank
you
Weller.
are alone, aren't you?
Endlessly.
Come in and look over.
She's
That's
cute.
very generous. What do I owe you?
Georg Immerding. Oh, there's only a few displays. Besides, I wouldn't be much of a shining knight if I charged you.
Thanks, Georg. My name is Grace.
Hello.
Georg doesn't sound great in
Have a
English.
good time.
Whoa, that guy. He's like, I'll let you in so I can stare at your butt as you walk by.
Wagner's piano. On this piano, the maestro composed his later operas, including The Ring.
Did he write The Ring? Oh no, that's a terrible movie. It gives you nightmares.
Franz Liszt, composer and Cosima Wagner's father.
And what of Wagner's father?
Franz Liszt, composer and Cosima Wagner's father.
I don't know what Cosim means.
Richard Wagner.
Okay. That's it? Okay, good to know.
The death of Wagner. On Ash Wednesday, 1883, Wagner suffered a heart attack in a Venetian gondola on the way to Saint Michel. His wife and the gondolier carried him into a church where he regained consciousness. Wagner died 4 days later on this sofa.
Oh. He died on that sofa? That sounds terrible. Services but that trench coat hit her horrible mom pants, but not her booty, I guess. Alright, so that's the horrible... Thank you for the follow, Abel Guzman, too. I'm glad you had a good time. Okay, so here's his death mask.
Wagner's death mask.
And death hand, I guess? They're not talking about that. They should. Okay. What's this? Exactly as it was the day he died.
Wagner's desk. Exactly as it was on the day he died.
Ooh, look at this desk.
It's a letter from a Monsieur Beaujolais, dated September 1881. Looks like he's discussing acoustics and sound waves. And crystals. Wasn't Wagner's Bayreuth Theater already built? Why would Wagner be worrying about acoustics?
Ooh! Is this something about one of the castles, the secret passageway?
It looks like an architectural drawing of a theater. The Wittelsbacher Theater, München. Every square inch is measured.
Oh, okay.
It looks like an architectural drawing.
Okay, well,
every square.
Munich. It's not that far away. We could go to Munich. Okay, so that's that. Oh, it's Ludwig. Look how this is a very poor Photoshop job. They took his that neck is it's so much neck. It's not a good job with Photoshop.
The great patron himself. Ludwig as the classical Greek hero.
Okay, here we go. More death masks.
Ludwig's death mask.
Isn't the second time
Ludwig's death mask.
It doesn't look the same as this guy at all.
A portrait given as a gift from Ludwig to Wagner.
Hey, Bisque! Motion Francis square inches measured. Okay, let's look at this.
June 10th, 1881, Munich residence. Great friend. I am writing to you in the middle of the night. My blood is pounding too wildly for sleep. Tonight's performance, how can I describe it? I am unsure whether to be terrified or thrilled.
Oh,
Perhaps
boy.
I even feel hopeful. If it is hope, you have given it to me, my friend, for the first time in years. We must speak. Something happened during the music tonight, but I must have your absolute confidence. As you love me, come at once. Your devoted king, Ludwig.
Are you doing text-to-speech in a restaurant, Bisque? Why? Why would you do that? You said, oh, hi, Jen.
July 1882. Great and beloved king, Monsieur Beaujolais and I have finished the diagram.
Chairman says you've given it to me for the first time in
Monsieur
years.
is confident that it will work. 8 identical fixtures are to be made from the diagram and placed in the theater exactly as specified. I'm sending the diagram with your courier. Be full of hope and have courage. All will be well. Your own, Wagner.
What does that mean? He died.
Ludwig's death mask.
Okay. You're just gonna leave that there, Cheddar Man? Can't look at these. Can't look at the candelabra. Nope. We need to look at these.
These look like production designs. I don't see anything that looks like those wolf paintings in Neuschwanstein, though.
It's typing on your phone. We'll probably need to watch it on the hotel room. Are you on vacation,
These look like
Bisque?
production designs. I don't see anything that looks like those wolf paintings in Neuschwanstein, though.
Oh, you're in Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. Well, enjoy that.
These look like production
Hopefully it wasn't
designs.
1,000 degrees.
I don't see anything that looks like those wolf paintings in Neuschwanstein, though.
Are you gonna go to Williamsburg? Colonial Williamsburg? Okay, so can we... What's this? Okay.
Opera costumes.
Of course.
Opera costume.
Opera
costumes.
So much research that we're doing that Gabriel's just gonna ignore. You know he's gonna ignore it.
This must be a model of Wagner's own theater, here in Bayreuth.
Really? Fan via phone? I meant more accurate and quicker. Ah.
This must be a model of Wagner's own theater, here in Bayreuth.
This is the model of the theater.
This must be a model.
Okay, what am I supposed to notice about
this?
this?
Must be a model.
Other than there's a model. Nothing, I guess. Okay, no, we're just here. Can't go over here. We already looked at all this stuff. Okay, let's go over this way. If he can't boink it, he won't care about it. Gabriel, probably not. You're terrible at the phone typing. I hate the autocorrect on phones because it's not even correcting it to the most common word. You'll be typing it correctly and it'll auto-finish for you some crazy thing. It's like, no.
Wagner souvenirs. Don't think I need any of those.
Maybe you do. Oh, 312 out of 679. We're doing well then. What's here? Ooh, what's this?
What's that book in the case?
Cosima Wagner's journal. It's locked up for preservation.
Huh. Give a copy? Can I look at it? Okay, himself.
What are you doing here if the museum is closed?
They always like to have a caretaker here. It's a good job for me. I can soak in the atmosphere of the maestro while I compose.
What are you composing?
This
modern crap.
A new arrangement. One of Wagner's pieces.
For the Bayreuth Opera?
No. I am only a student at the university. I study music, composition, conducting.
Mm-hmm. Ask him more about himself.
Is there much of a call
She
for
keeps
conductors
running
in
her
Europe?
fingers through her hair.
Ask my brother. He is the conductor for the Munich Opera.
Well, that's convenient. Does that mean you get free opera tickets?
Yes. I get a week's pass to the Opernfestspiele, the opera festival in Munich. It starts in a few months.
Do you want to
I'm
take
still
me?
around to see it.
Come with me if you like. If you're still around, I can go backstage and all sorts of things.
I'd love that. If I'm still in Germany, I'll call you, all right?
Yeah, good.
All these men in this game are filthy. He's like, and other things. I just met you, but I'll take you to the opera for a month.
Tell me about Wagner.
He was a character. He spent most of his life trying to convince rich patrons to subsidize his work. Unfortunately, he had expensive tastes. You see, he believed that someone of his genius deserved to live well. Can't argue with that.
But Ludwig II supported him, didn't he?
Yeah, sure, but Ludwig came along very late in Wagner's life. By then, he had already been run out of Venice and most major cities because of debt. Ludwig saved him. And the music. Best thing Ludwig ever did.
Okay.
Do you know anything about that letter from Wagner to Ludwig in the display case? The one about the diagram?
Ah. No.
No, I don't know.
Some sort of equipment for Ludwig's theater. But I don't know why Wagner would have cared about this. If he was worried about any theater, you would think it would have been his own theater, here, in Bayreuth.
Have you ever heard about the letter that Ludwig wrote to the Munich conductor in 1882 telling him to prepare for a new Wagner opera?
You're full of surprises. For an American.
What do you know about it?
No one knows anything about it. It's like a treasure map, you know? It's probably a complete fairy tale, but
maybe it
it
wasn't.
does make you wonder.
You have no idea what it could have referred to? Maybe something that Wagner was working on with Ludwig?
This game is taking us down some rabbit
There's
trails
no
here.
trace of it. Except perhaps in the dreams of unemployed music students.
All right, so
Have you ever heard about the wolf panels in the Singers' Hall at Neuschwanstein?
Did my brother send you here?
No.
Probably not. It's only the letter to the conductor, the wolf panels. Oh, my brother thinks I am crazy because of all my theories.
What are your theories? Tell us. Tell us.
This is Quatsch. If there was a lost opera, a lost Wagner opera, and if one could find it to a conductor,
rich.
This would be like finding King Tut's tomb. But people have looked for it before. If it ever existed, it is gone forever. My brother says I waste my time even thinking about it.
Jeez, your brother sounds like a real jerk. Don't ever think about anything that's even remotely interesting.
Is there any other information that points to the lost opera besides Ludwig's letter and the wolf panels?
It's nothing. I'm not even supposed to have seen it.
What is it?
You see, my brother says that Wagner was too egotistical to have produced a lost opera. If he was working on something new, every person in Bayreuth would have heard about it. On the other hand, it was in Ludwig's character to have wanted a private opera.
But it wouldn't have been private. Ludwig's letter shows he intended it to be played in Munich.
Yes, but that it would get so far without Wagner telling others, why keep it a secret?
Maybe there was a very good reason for secrecy.
It was a werewolf opera!
For
Obviously.
example?
Like
it was a werewolf opera.
Never mind.
Okay. Do you have anything else to
I
say?
don't have anything to ask Georg about at the moment. Cosima was Wagner's wife, I think. She probably just talks about him in her journal.
Okay.
Cosima was Wagner's wife, I think.
Can we open this up? Use it! Break open the box! Alright, fine. You can't go to Munich? You remember that guy dressed in a Russian uniform shooting at MacGyver, Servo? How interesting. Alright, so... What's this up here? Like, why is this in yellow? So there's the... We're, like, right around Munich, too. Let's go back here. Let's see if we can talk to Gerda. Oh, good, we can.
Hi, did you have a good time?
Did you have fun?
Anything new? Yes, you had a phone call. Really? A man named Professor Barkley. He said you had his number.
I do. Thanks.
I'm gonna call him back at 1 in the morning his time. Perfect. Do we have a... We have a phone in the... We have a phone in the Schattenjäger library. I'm like, where's the phone? It's gotta be a... Come on. Exit... I love how everything's exit. Exit to the desk, guys. Okay, we need to call our friend at Yale. Hey, Sharpie! How you doing? Sharpie does what Nintendo don't. Hey, Lorality. Hey, Ingvarez.
Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant.
Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being a friend, Sharpie. Those horrible mom pants. Hey, all pants turn into mom pants, Servo. That's how it works. When she was wearing these pants, they were trendy pants. But as soon as people her age became moms, they became mom pants. Thank you for the follow, Or's Demon. Glad you're having a good time. All right, how you doing, Sharpie? Friendship. I'm playing Gabriel Knight. This is a fun FMV game. See? I knew it was happening. Thank you for the follow. Glad you're having a good time. We have to call this guy from, this professor in Yale. This professor from Yale University. We have to call him. It's probably 2 in the morning his time. You closed out Might and Magic? Nice, Sharpie. Oh, it's a decent... Look at all these typewriters, guys. And word processors.
Hi, Professor Barkley. It's Grace.
Oh, good. I have a name for you. It's Herr Josef Dahlmeier. And he specializes in Bavarian history. And I think he's somewhere near you are.
Herr Josef Dahlmeier.
No,
Great, got a number?
Alt 4?
Yeah, I do. It's 4982.
Oh, so you closed it out. You didn't finish it. You just, like, crashed it out.
Thanks a lot. Sorry about the bother.
That's no bother. When are you coming back to school, Gracie?
When I figure it out, I'll let you know.
Well, be good.
End scene. You meant close the window out, Sharpie, and said, I'll play some more tomorrow. Alright, so now we have another phone number to call. Where's the other number? Wait, what's this? This is... No, that's our letter about Ludwig. This is the phone number we need to call. There we go. Yes, let's call this number and find more about... Basically, this game is sending us on a bunch of rabbit trails about Ludwig II.
Hello.
He likes Ludwig II. He's in the background.
Yeah, you must be Grace Nakamura, the American history student.
Yes.
I hear you're interested in Ludwig II.
Very.
Good. There's something I want to show you. Drive to Berg on Starnberger See. Meet me at the Memorial Chapel.
All right. Thank you.
Oh, wait. Was there anything you wanted me to look into before we meet?
Well, I was hoping you knew something about someone called the Black Wolf. He was a contemporary of Ludwig's. He lived in Prussia, I think, and he was well connected.
I don't know.
Never heard of him, but I'll check. See you there.
Thanks. Bye.
Ciao. That's a really cool phone. Okay, no, we're not typing that letter yet. Yay! Alright, is there anything we need?
I'm not sure what other case books would be relevant. I'm not sure what other... There's nothing else on werewolves in the occult section. There's nothing else on werewolves in the occult section.
Every time you thought the phone rang, you thought it was mine. Is that what your cell phone's set to? Gabriel Knight phone ringing? Is there anything in here we need?
I wish I could read these biographies of Ludwig. Wait a minute.
Ooh.
Ludwig II, fairy tale king of Bavaria. I didn't see this before.
What?
Yep, English. Huh.
That's not cool. Just an old rotary phone's ring. That happens to be Gabriel Knight's, Elliot. I smell a conspiracy. How could we not... Oh, we need to save it. We haven't saved it in a long time. Not that Grace seems to be dying anytime soon, but, you know. Yeah, look. Now we have this book on Ludwig we didn't have before. Yeah. How come we didn't see this book before? Ludwig II, Fairy Tale King of Bavaria. Sir Richard Chaphill. Ooh, look, we can look him up. If we need to. Is she going to read any of this? Look, we should look him up if we need to.
Ludwig remained throughout his life both very bright and very naive.
Okay.
He was an introvert who seemed to be constantly out of sync with traditional views of rulership, money, and human relationships.
Great, that seems kind of terrible.
The world ever failed to match his ideals. Perhaps this was a fault of his sheltered upbringing as future king. He never was introduced to the real world, and the real world failed to interest him as an adult. In his youth, Ludwig was in fine physical condition
She did take a
and
break
loved
from
to
reading
hike alone
this.
in the Alps and ride horses. He had a hunting lodge, Shahen, specifically for this purpose. Unfortunately, in 1872, a rather traumatic hunting accident befell the king at Shahen, and his leg was cruelly damaged. He never fully recovered from this incident, and his hiking and riding ceased. His physical health deteriorated from that time on, and explains why he looked so unhealthy in later years.
A hunting accident?
That sounds familiar.
Other than his long-standing friendship with the Empress Elizabeth of Austria and with his mother, the relationships Ludwig attempted with others were nearly always a disappointment for him and a bewilderment for his partners. He would become obsessed with someone, a singer, an artist, a nobleman or a peasant, and would bombard them with gifts, praise, and favors. When they would fail to return the depths of rapturous passion he required, the singular adoration and humble obedience he expected, he would grow disappointed and cut himself off from them. The objects of his interest were occasionally women, usually ones he fell in love with after seeing them in idealized roles on the stage, but they were more often young men who fit his fantasies of the heroic sagas like Lohengrin and Parsifal that he so loved.
This doesn't seem good.
A good example of the king's obsessive behavior in relationships is the following letter from the Königlich Bayerische Archives, which this author was privileged to access. It is dated 1864, and it was written by Ludwig's manservant, Paul, to a friend. The king has been in high mood these days. The reason, of course, is a new interest. Thursday last, the king attended a performance of Lohengrin in the Wittelsbacher Theater. He came back in a fever, demanding that a man be found. The man, it was gathered, had been sitting in a box across from Ludwig and had drawn the king's attention by his beauty and his deep emotional response to the performance. The king declared that here at last is a sensitive soul. The man was tracked down and brought in for an audience. Upon my word, never have I seen any mind so in line with His Majesty's own. They discussed Wagner and France and Byron and all manner of things until long past dawn. The young man, beautiful indeed to look upon, met the king's enthusiasm and knowledge bit for bit.
Okay, so His Majesty, I'll read this part so it's not quite so cheaty, Sharpie. His Majesty has been in the thick of it ever since, and while I welcome his good temper, I grow tired of fetching letters back and forth to Louis, so called by His Majesty, that should tell you who the young man looks like at all hours of the night. This author has not been able to learn much about Louis, but he was known to have been a seemingly high-bred foreigner, and he was involved with Ludwig as late as 1880 when he fell into disfavor. You need this function? It's nice. Well, I think because there's so much research in this game, it's like, we'll read it for you. The king, especially later in life, felt a great deal of guilt about his sensual nature. His diaries are full of repentant entries begging God for forgiveness and swearing to remain pure. In many of his diary entries, he swears to abstain from sexual relations. The number of these oath entries indicate Ludwig was not very successful in resisting temptation. It is also clear that Ludwig was a God-fearing man, and that, though his flesh might occasionally fall, he never surrendered his heart or conscience to sin. Okay, we can go to the next chapter.
The king, especially in many of the diary entries, he...
Okay, so that's all we can read in this book?
In many of the...
Okay, hey, Grace. So I think the Ludwig was turning into a werewolf. That's what's going on. All right, so we need to go meet that historian. Boom. Lawrence piano music. Look at this fuzzy, like, soap opera lit. Okay, anything we need to say to Gerda? Okay, Gabriel.
Have you heard from Gabriel at all?
No, Grace, I'm sorry.
We haven't.
Never mind.
He doesn't love me anymore. I'm going to cry. Why am I looking? I don't have to watch that anymore. I forgot I don't have to watch that cutscene anymore for putting on her trench coat. It's so riveting, though, guys, when she puts on her trench coat, I guess. Alright, let's go see where we can go. There we go. We've got a new place to go. Here we go. Sternberger Sea. This game loves maps. This is kind of a cool way to do it. Okay. Come on, Grace, walk faster. Whee!
It's a memorial chapel.
It is, which is kind of interesting. Okay, where's our friend? They said meet us here. I think they're gonna turn out to be Louis II. Okay, there's like a place we can sit and wait. Uh-oh. Werewolf attack.
This is where he died. You must be Grace. Herr Dahlmeier.
Hello.
Joseph.
Your perm is terrifying, sir.
I wanted you to see it. I feel him here the most, you know, more than at the castles. So, what did you want to know?
The gravel under our feet is so loud. Whoa! Whoa! Okay, this guy's gonna be talking a lot.
Professor Barclay says your hobby is Ludwig.
Yes. He was the last real king that Bavaria had. As a Bavarian and a history buff, well, that's enough to hook me right there.
But there's more, right?
He was a romantic, you know. A dreamer. And he was misunderstood, maligned.
Sounds like you can relate.
Smoker.
Me? Hell, I have it easy. At least I live in the 1990s. And not every eye in the country is on me. But yes, I can relate.
I live in the 1990s. Why is there a bird screaming at us? Chairman, I'm a Ludwigist. We'll just keep looking at our feet.
You know about Ludwig's diary, right?
Of course.
How can I get my hands on it?
I'm sorry. I have been trying myself for 5 years.
Do you get his loving on the run?
They
I think so,
keep it locked up tight in
Chitterman.
the Royal Archives, and they don't let it out. They must think it contains things that will hurt his image.
They won't let anyone see it, not ever?
Only one person outside of the government ever got to see it, a biographer, Sir Richmond Chapel. He had friends among the German royals, and they let him look at it.
Did you ever try to contact Chapel? Pick his brain?
No.
Pick his brain like a zombie.
Thought of that. If you do and you find out anything, you must share.
It's a promise.
Let's talk about Ludwig.
Tell me about Ludwig.
I don't know where to start. There's so much. Politically, the most significant thing about Ludwig II was that he signed over independent Bavarian statehood to Prussia in 1870. Bavaria became a part of United Germany, and Ludwig became a figurehead prince under the Prussian Kaiser.
Why do you think he did that?
Bavaria had been involved in the 100 Years' War. People were tired of fighting. Prussia's push to unite the German states made some amount of sense. Still, Ludwig must have had other options. At the very least, he should have negotiated better terms.
So what was the real reason?
He was manipulated by Bismarck. At least that's what I think, anyway.
Really? Alright. Manipulated by Bismarck. We've all been there.
What about Ludwig personally?
You'll find two perspectives
Thank
on
you
Ludwig.
for the follow,
The view that tourists get is the romantic ideal, Ludwig the tormented loner. Then there is the historian's point of view. Ludwig was plagued with guilt over his sexual orientation and was driven mad with self-loathing.
But I take it you're not buying either point of view.
Well, it's all too convenient, isn't it? That he was a devout Catholic, there is no question, and I'm sure there were pressures on him to be normal. But he was no prude. He loved Byron. Yes, philosophy, the French court. If anything, Ludwig was too much an egomaniac. He didn't give a damn what anyone thought. And besides, he didn't try to hide any of his relationships.
It's a good song.
If he suffered from anything in his romantic life, it was disillusionment. No one loved him back as purely as he himself loved.
No one loved him back. Oh. It wobbles of its around
If
its
it
own
wasn't
accord.
sexual guilt that tormented him, what was it?
I don't know. His diary was filled with self-guilt, but I'm sure it's not about that.
Do you just call Ludwig
If I knew, I'd
egomaniac?
write my own book,
Yes.
set the record straight, so to speak.
Midnight sleigh rides. Sleigh bells ring. Are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening.
Have you read anything about Ludwig's midnight sleigh rides?
Would that have been something? To be out at night and suddenly see him sweep by with his entourage? They say the night agitated Ludwig, and
Lego my
that
egos.
being outdoors and the rushing feeling of the sleigh calmed him down. Sometimes even the sleigh wasn't enough. He would stop in some remote woods, order his servants to stay put, and go wandering off by himself for hours. It drove the servants crazy.
Yeah, 'cause they were worried he was dead. That man looks like a child predator. It's only the perm, Servo. It's the alarming perm. The perm is very alarming.
Tell me about Bismarck.
Oh, Bismarck. He was the Prussian Kaiser's chancellor. Not a nice man. Bismarck had a reputation for learning people's weaknesses and manipulating them. It's a matter of record that he had spies on Ludwig's
Because
staff.
he was a werewolf?
He may even have had a henchman
Maybe.
even closer to the king. And he was involved in the conspiracy to declare Ludwig insane.
His hair is business from the front and your mom from the back. The back of his head looks like, you think he's like a 50-year-old menopausal woman. And then you turn around and you're like, oh, it's a 30-year-old man. It's very disconcerting. The Black Wolf.
Did you find out anything
Look at
about
this.
the Black Wolf?
I did.
He's got Blanche's
I'd
hair.
read about him before, but I hadn't realized that was who you were talking about. His name was Godin, Paul Godin. I found a reference to his being called the Black Wolf after you telephoned.
I've never heard of him. Who was he?
Godin lived on the fringes of the Prussian court. He was handsome, charming,
Thank you for the
dangerous,
follow.
or so they say. He was
Okoro
variously rumored to
17.
have been a foreign prince, a Prussian spy, even an assassin. Since you were interested in him, I found out some things that are probably true. It said he came from abroad in the mid-1800s, but claimed high German blood.
Do you know where he came from?
No. And he was ruthlessly ambitious. He probably found out who held the power, Bismarck, and offered his services. Bismarck was a good judge of talent, of that sort anyway.
His back of his head, he has total mom hair. It's like Blanche's hair. It's like menopausal lady hair. And then when it flips back to seeing his face, you're just startled. All right, the Black Wolf.
What else do you
See?
know about Godin?
Blanche's hair.
He must have done something remarkable. Bismarck was not a generous man. He liked to string people along with promises, but rarely came through. He did for Godin, though. He gave him a royal title and lands in 1863. And that was the last reference I found to him.
Well, how could he just disappear?
It's not that unusual. Back then, when you were given a title, you usually changed your name and moved to a place where no one knew your past, so you could act with impunity, or be a pompous ass and get away with it.
Okay, the Black Wolf.
Is there any way to find out what Godin was called after he got his title?
Is it that critical?
It might be.
Well, you could send
did
away
you
for a
find,
copy of the
Cheddar Man?
entitlement deed, assuming it has been destroyed during one of the wars. Godin's new name would be on it. But you would need a research permit from the government to access those records, and they can be very hard to get. A lot of red tape.
Great.
I just want to look at some records. They're hundreds of years old. Why do they have such a problem with them? Just putting it out there for comparison. It is! Look how similar this hair is! Just in case you wondered.
What do you know
Hunting
about Ludwig's
accident.
hunting accident?
A couple of years ago, I was introduced to this great old man, a real old world farmer. Well, his grandfather was Richard Horning, Ludwig's equestrian. Oh, he told some great Ludwig stories. Sometimes I get lucky. Anyway, he said that after the hunting accident, Ludwig got terribly ill, that he had a fever and was acting crazy. They were afraid that the wolf had been carrying a disease or that the bite had gone septic.
A wolf bit him?
Yeah, it's not so unusual. There were a lot of wolves in the Alps back then. The servants were really worried, but Ludwig recovered, physically anyway. Horning's grandfather said it was the fever that broke Ludwig's mind, that he was worse than ever after that.
Where? They're twins, says Servo. It's her long-lost German
Ludwig
son.
got worse after the accident?
Ludwig always had been a very private person. But after the accident, he got darker, more crazy. Towards the end, he was even forcing his servants to enter his chambers bent over so they couldn't see his face. Horning's grandfather said his temper was fearsome. He would fly into a rage at the least mistake.
Must have been terrified of him.
Yes, well.
He could be very
Horning's
Larry
grandfather
Applegate,
felt sorry
maybe.
for Ludwig, and Ludwig hated his own violence. He was always giving gifts to his servants to apologize.
Servants' fears. Why were they afraid?
You mentioned that there were other reasons why Ludwig's servants feared him.
Ah, that's another of Horning's mysteries. There's a story about Neuschwanstein. Apparently there was a period of time of 2 or 3 months when Wagner would come and visit him.
Wagner?
Yeah. The two would lock themselves in the singers' hall. Horning's grandfather said the sounds that came from there were awful. Well, the servants had superstitious minds anyway. Some of them quit over it, just walked away.
What kind of sounds?
Horning's grandfather called them
howling,
heartbreaking, and ungodly. Maybe it was Wagner trying to sing.
Wagner trying to sing? Could he not sing?
Well, I guess that's all for now.
Wagner! Again!
It's my pleasure. And if you ever want to talk again, just give me a call. I'll meet you down.
Oh, well, thanks.
335 out of 679. That's good, guys. Oh, that's scene ended a little bit abruptly. Abruptly! Come on, game. Salko's back. I think that Wagner was trying to find a way to save him from being a werewolf.
This is where they found Ludwig's body.
But it didn't help. Why is there so much cawing going on? What's this over here?
I wonder what it felt like under there.
Yeah, I don't want to think about what it's like to be drowned.
I wonder what it felt like under there.
Hi, Bisque. How you doing?
I wonder what it felt like under there.
I don't know. I don't want to think about them drowning. This game is so FMV. It is. It is a quintessential FMV game. It's fun, though. I kind of have a soft spot for FMV literality. Because it makes things fun sometimes. Walk faster, Grace. Is there anything we can get in here? Can we just look at this?
It's a memorial chapel for Ludwig.
You love this game? This is the first time I've played this game, but I'm enjoying it so much. It's really fun. The characters they're wacky and hilarious. They're good. Okay, so Wagner again. I think we need to go back here and see, because I think they try to do some stuff in the singing chapel. Okay, why can't we go up here? This is very annoying. Well, you played it on Nintendo? I did.
I wonder if Ludwig really
No, I
had
played
to
only
throw
the first
himself
part
from
of
the
it.
tower the night he was
This is
arrested.
a continuation of what I've played. This is my first playthrough. You can see the third in the series is Matt. I've heard that because they went with 3D animation, which I think it wasn't good enough to be used for that yet. If they could have done it more in the style of, let's say, Siberia, 3D animation would have been better. Hey, X-Pike! You should play Phantasmagoria and Darkseid.
More swans.
I know Phantasmagoria is cheesy horror, but I'm not a big horror person. Okay, there's an exit over there. Alright, so here's this. Where's the room? I want to see the singing room. Phantasmagoria.
There must be a story behind these wolf paintings. But what story?
Mm-hmm. He's a werewolf. I wish Sierra hadn't tried to jump into the 3D animation so hardcore. Oh, it's very sad. Chairman, it's not that gory. I heard Puzzle of Flesh is a lot more
nice view of the app.
Gory in general and crazy. What is this?
Engelhart and the Blacksmith.
They're both horror X-Bike. There are a few disturbing scenes, but other than that, can I close my eyes and still play the game?
Engelhart and the Blacksmith.
And the Blacksmith, huh?
I don't think the guards want to be bothered while on duty.
There's gotta be a way to, like, get away from the guards, to be honest.
Nice view of the Alps. Nice view of the Alps.
Yeah, you'll tell me when the scary parts are over? How, Chitterman? You'll type it in chat when I have my eyes closed?
I doubt there's anything left in there now.
There might be, though. Let's wait for them to leave. She's gonna leave at some point, right?
I don't think the guards want to be bothered while on duty.
Leave. Leave! They do leave at certain points. They're super down.
Your heart is true, you're a pal and a confidant.
Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being a friend. Sharpie says, can I open my eyes yet? Thank you for being a friend, Zombie Man. Thank you for the follow, Jared Anisic. Thank you for the follow. Glad you're having fun. Alright, so she's still not... There we go. She's gone. Open it up.
I doubt there's anything left in there.
Who cares? I don't care if you doubt there's anything left in there. Open it up. Dang you. There's gotta be, because the guards go, they come and go at different time periods. So they've gotta be on some sort of, like, timed rotation. But she won't play with anything, like, when they leave. Like, I feel like when they leave, she should, like, open stuff up and look around.
I wonder why he was studying the occult before he died.
Yeah, I do too. I do too, Grace. I wonder that. Okay, how do we get this guy here? There we go. This is the way to go. See, now she's in here.
I can almost picture Ludwig in here. I wonder what he really dreamt about in this room.
I'd really like to go into the tower and see what's up with that. Okay, maybe we can wait till this guy goes. Or just exit here. Can we save the game here? Well, we'll just replace this. Enjoy. Well, guys, it's past my bedtime. I had a lot of fun playing Gabriel Knight. We'll be back with Gabriel Knight on Monday. Tuesday is Siberia 3. Thank you for all the follows. I'm really enjoying myself, and I hope you guys are too. I'm excited. 335 out of 679. So thank you for all the hosts too. I appreciate all of it. So, I don't know what else to say except I will see you guys next time. I can actually exit out of this game. Look, I can quit. Yes, we want to quit. Hurrah! Alright, good night, guys. Sleep well. Bye! Oops, I should probably make sure I know what I'm doing before I do that. Bye!